It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, back at it. Rando Tuesday style. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Cannon with you. How you feeling, boys?
Oh, after shining up that Ohio Cup bake show we're just talking about, I'm feeling good.
You guys get a trophy for that? Is there
Finally
something tangible?
Finally ours. I think there is.
What is
Don't
that, Manny?
hold me
Like a
to
mini
that.
bat or something?
I don't know, but listen, the Reds won the Ohio Cup. Don't know if it means a darn thing.
A hard helmet with a sundae in it?
It'll probably be the best thing that happens to my Reds all year long.
You
so
really
I'm gonna
have just
enjoy it.
given up on them. It's over. You're right. We probably shouldn't talk about them anymore. You won the Cup. There's your trophy for the year.
See you next year.
And we'll see you next year,
Yeah.
even though they are above 500 now. So
Well, what place are we in the division?
I think 4th.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I thought the Cubs were going to be great before the year, and they've lost. But here's the deal. You're gaining ground lately.
Inch by inch.
Yeah, you're not like getting crushed because those teams are losing. So
Listen,
Long season.
we are going for 5 in a row tonight, so maybe that'll have us headed in the right direction.
Maybe
I told
you'll
you,
bet on it.
I'm not getting crazy about the Reds until they win 15 games in a row. Then come talk to me.
15.
It's too much heartbreak.
Who are they? The Oakland A's from Moneyball?
It's too much heartbreak. I've been down this road before
15.
with this team. I'm not taking the bait. You can win 5 games in a row or on the cusp of winning 5 games in a row like we are and still be 6.5 games back in the division. Congrats. The Ohio Cup is yours.
Whatever it is, I didn't watch. I didn't see it. I was watching that debacle in the NHL last night.
Brutal.
I mean, this, and here I was painting the series and everything is like this epic. Yesterday I was like, Yankees, Dodgers, and Lakers, Celtics.
Well, the first 2 games
I know.
delivered. You had every right to do that, AR.
Did I? I don't know.
You did.
I probably should have seen the regression. But this is one of those deals that Florida's been there, done that. The pressure on Edmonton, the way Florida plays, the way they can get under their skin, how physical they are. They have the backstop to do it, and they just played them like a grand piano at the annual SAPS convention. They hit them hard. They drew penalties. They may have flopped at times, whatever it was, and then the end looked like a scene out of Slapshot. And you can blame the officials for taking the bait a little bit, but they dominated them. And now Connor McDavid and Draisaitl have to find a way to just be the best players on the ice again. I'm not really – I knew that Skinner would have to be solid in the series. I'm not going to put everything on him last night. It got away from them, certainly a breakaway and all that, and then penalties. You can't kill off a half a period and expect to win games, not in the Stanley Cup Final. So it was fun to watch Nurse and Gadjevich go at it. It was Matty, there must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5 fights going on at the same time at the end of that game.
They were getting busy yesterday.
It was, and then Nurse and Gadjevich just, I don't even know at that point whether they look at each other and say, all right, are we putting on a little show now or what?
You all right over there?
No, I'm
What's
not.
going on?
I've
that Claritin and that concoction coming back to haunt you. See, this is the long game you weren't thinking about. I was warning you about.
Didn't play any long game.
The cough syrup, the Claritin all in one, and now your body.
I thought that was the short fix. This whole short and colds and whatever. I'm not buying it. But yeah, I probably push it a little bit this weekend. So I'm climbing. I've got a little brain fog, more than usual. And so that's it. But I'll be all right.
Watching the game yesterday, you laid it out. Florida, they know what it is when it comes to this time of year. They have the guy in net that I think infuses confidence into the team, into the fan base, and goalie Bob. Obviously, we know what he's about with him being a former Jacket. I came away from that game, AR, and I was thinking about Connor McDavid. And I know Florida had a lot to do with it, but Edmonton's going to be up against it when your best player, one of your best players, is only getting 2 shots in the game. And it kind of reminded me of what we saw in the NBA Finals with the Pacers, with Halliburton not having a good offensive game. And when that guy for that team over there in Indy doesn't get after it offensively, then the Pacers are behind it. And there's a little bit of that vibe for me when it comes to Edmonton. And Connor McDavid just has to be a star in this next game, which we know he is capable of doing, but they just got to find a way to generate more offense and more shots for him, because the more you get from McDavid in that realm of the game, I think the better off the Oilers will be.
Yeah, it is. It's got a little bit of skill versus substance, even though Florida has a lot where it's needed. The fact that Marchand, I should have played the hot hand in Marchand.
Yeah,
I mean, he's on one. And, when your oldest player for the Oilers is scoring the only goal, you got a problem.
Yeah.
It was a 40-year-old dude. I did want to say that I watched, I'm a little bit obsessed with O's The Mentalist. We got a somewhat obsession.
Yeah,
with
this
it.
is your guy.
Yeah, I feel like somehow, I don't know if he plays to the small clubs like ours. I don't think so anymore. He's gotten so big. I mean, listen, we've had some big names on the show before,
Yeah, we have.
But he's better in person, so he's not going to come to Columbus. So I don't think I'll ever run into him. But
I think the only way he would come here is if he did something with Coach Day and the football team over there.
That's right.
I think they could land that fish.
If they wanted to.
If they wanted to.
Yeah,
I think
he's a
he'd do
Michigan
it.
guy, so who knows?
Oh, he did go to Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah, I think
don't
that's how
I've ever heard
Schefter
that.
and he kind of know each other.
Interesting. Okay.
Not from going there the same time.
I don't think I've ever heard that, AR.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a Wolverine,
Yeah.
so maybe he won't come here.
I watched. So today they moved Get Up to a different studio. I don't know.
Yeah,
they
I
don't have
saw-
that nice backdrop anymore. It's like something looks like Camden Yards behind him or
It
something.
does
Where
look
did they
different.
go?
And I was working out this morning, AR, and Good Morning America was up on one of the TVs, and they were saying it was their last studio show in that studio.
Yeah.
Is that the ABC, ESPN under the same umbrella? Both shows getting moved
Maybe
somewhere
so.
else? 'Cause
Probably.
I think that's
Who knows?
happening for Good Morning America as well.
It's kind of like when they moved us from the 3-story studio with all the bay windows in the brewery district
Into
to
the
a,
basement.
to a garage.
No windows. Let me tell you something, folks. We love what we do. That old studio. I think every host that graces the air will say they'd run back over there in a heartbeat if we could.
Location-wise, it wasn't great to get out of there south of the city, but around there it was great.
Goodness. The
'Cause we had
aesthetics of the studio were awesome. Up on the third floor,
We
looking
had the
down.
Austin Crozier right there.
You never know what you would see looking down from those windows. But
Paris
then,
in the springtime.
you're right, AR. You and I, every day about 11 o'clock, 11:15, take a stroll over to Kroger, have a whole team of people
I'd
ready
bet
to take
Bobby
care
if he
of
could
us.
be Frogger. Glancing blow from a Chevy doesn't matter. We had a lot going there, but anyway, I'm watching I'm watching Oz, the
Dr. Phil,
Mentalist.
you into that?
No,
Dr.
I think-
Oz.
Yeah, Oz.
By the way,
Wizard of Oz.
I'm on his website. I do not see a price, so I'm going to email his team and try to get a price to see how expensive it would be to have Oz the Mentalist perform for you two in that studio.
Because I don't buy any of this
I don't
crap.
know if I would start with. Wow.
I don't. You know that's been my
That's
stance.
not the first time you said that.
Crap on the guy's livelihood.
Listen, my thing is, I think this is all staged. I saw Greeny tweeting out, "Oh, guys, it's not staged." We have never seen anything outside of the final act being performed on national TV ever. I think this is all a work. I think we're all getting worked, and I think they hand him the answers, and there's a prep meeting prior to all of this stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
my
think
stand.
so.
And nobody could ever move me off
There'd
that
be
stand.
too many people that would have to be in on it that would be sworn to some sort of secrecy. He's performed for too many teams. Hey, before you email, though, I don't know if we start with paying him. Maybe we just say,
we're not going to actually do it. I just want to see how much it costs because it's not on his website.
I like the ambition from the kid over there. He heard you bring up you like a guy. He's trying to get him on for you.
No, I like
We're
that.
playing
but
a hypothetical game. Oz the Mentalist, we are not funding him to fly to Columbus to perform one segment of radio.
Clearly there's one guy that would take the day off.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wouldn't be here for it.
It was, it's all a
I'd have
racket
to-
anyway.
Right, just do it for me. All right.
He's
so-
a hack.
Oh, man.
So, and we don't have the time. I'll do it in the next segment, exactly what he did, and we'll see if you buy it. But I'm going to get back to he performs for too big of audience, too many teams, too many things I've seen done at Radio Row. They're just, if everyone believes like you believe, then there's nothing to it anymore. Then it's all just such a farce. You don't think he has some sort of God-gifted talent?
No. Like, this guy would be a superhero then.
Yeah.
He'd be the closest thing on planet Earth to
You're
an Avenger.
saying that if he can do this,
What-
he can somehow predict the lottery numbers. And
Correct.
since he hasn't done that,
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You're wasting your superpowers. Oz, O's, whatever your name is.
You think he would be great at poker, number one, for sure.
Yeah,
Because it's more about reading faces and minds and just tells, because he always points that out. Oh, I saw your eyes shift. It must be this. And he's writing a book, which you won't read, about how to be a better mind reader in a way, or a tell in your normal life. People you like, people you work with, people that you're friends with. Just have a better idea of what people may be thinking.
See, I don't want that superpower. Yeah. That's always been brought up. That's been proposed to me a couple times. Would you want to read people's minds or hear everything everybody's thinking? No, I don't want that.
You said you'd rather be invisible.
Oh, yeah.
You could go places.
Yes.
See things.
Be in some secretive rooms. No doubt. Being invisible to me is much better than reading minds.
Then you could pick and choose what you want to hear.
God. Could you imagine
what you want to see?
Where you could go?
Well, I can imagine a lot of things. I've seen the movie.
Well,
you ever seen Hollow Man?
No.
I think that's what it's called, with Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth Shue.
So you were starring in the movie.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the name of it. It's been a while.
You know the first place I'm going, AR. I'm going to Area 51. And I'm coming back with all the answers, and I'm saying, AR, come on.
They're going to light you up on your way in there.
Invisible.
They aren't letting anyone in
No, he said he's invisible.
I'm invisible.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
The whole
If they start
secret.
seeing dust kicking around, because you're in the desert, keep in mind. And they say, why is this dust just blowing up in this one spot?
Like, where'd my peanut butter and jelly sandwich go that was in the fridge for lunch?
Where are these
Matty Ice
footprints
ate it.
appearing from?
Exactly.
That's
where I'm going, though.
They're going to catch a whiff of you.
Saying what's up to
Hollow
Sasquatch.
Man, I recommend. There was a Hollow Man 2. I don't believe I saw that one. I don't think he was in it.
Kevin Bacon or Hollow Man? Or Kevin Bacon is
I don't think he was in the sequel.
Is Kevin Bacon Hollow Man?
Well, yes. Well, there isn't a Hollow Man. It's just the name of the movie.
Okay.
There isn't someone that called himself Hollow Man. He's just...
I got you.
He is invisible in the movie. Came up with some special scientific deal. All right, so I'll explain this to you next. We got a lot to do today. We'll have Dave Biddle on, bottom of the hour, bucknuts.com, and Here Are the Fan, obviously, and talk about the ever-changing landscape of college football and college sports in general. We'll go over some comeback players of the year, some Browns and Bengals offseason, and guys missing in camp. We got a lot to do, but up next, do you buy what I witnessed today? And it was unreal with a cherry on top of that sundae. I'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Did you want information on the Ohio Lottery's Easy Play games? Okay. Easy Play games have everything needed to play printed on the ticket, so you never wait for a drawing. And with Easy Play Progressive games, they can instantly win the game's jackpot, which oftentimes grow and grow to over $1 million. All lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want another commercial? Okay.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here. The new weight loss meds are having results, but what happens after you stop taking them? I didn't want to rent my results. I wanted to own them to keep the weight off. I chose the medication-free solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. and doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
With over 33 years in business, Newman Roofing believes white glove services shouldn't be a thing of the past. From the first call, you'll be greeted with friendly professionals to answer all your questions. Special financing options available now, so call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A big change in our weather today from Monday, as we will see a lot more sunshine and temperatures climbing in the mid to upper 70s, much closer to average. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 50s, and then get ready for even more sunshine and heat on Wednesday as our highs get in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
So here's why. First of all, you should be entertained. It's why people go to magic shows and whatever else, and it's why these grand illusions are so appealing, and they even were appealing on TV. You didn't have to be there in person, and I loved them as a kid. And I think the reason that you should be a little more, if you want to be accusing that everyone's in on it, I think that's the only plausible thing, because what he did today, he writes it down first. That's the difference. And there's not like 84 options. He's writing it down. He's writing down what he thinks people are going to say before they say it. That's the most unbelievable part. And they all either are the greatest actors in the world, or there is some legitimacy to it, because they all acted like he's a sorcerer and this is creeping them out and they don't want to be a part of it anymore and all that. And so it was Greenberg, Schrager, Bart Scott, and PK Subban was there doing hockey, right? So he had all of them think of an NBA player, or he went to Schrager and said, all right, anybody in the playoffs. It wasn't just anybody in the final. It was anybody in the playoffs. And so he writes it down, and he says, and he writes down Draymond Green, and that's what Schrager says.
You know how easy that is to cook up as a team? Hey, we're gonna have you on in this segment. Yeah. I'm going to have Draymond Green as my player. Oz, you guess Draymond Green. Done.
Like I'm saying, everyone would have to be in on it. I think
there only needs to be those guys in that segment that are in on it, and it's that easy to do.
But it's been years of this. You don't think anyone would leak it to somebody, even if they didn't do it themselves?
I told you how he can sway me over to believing.
He's never been accused of BS.
The way that he can win me over is to go out on a random street Go down to Bourbon Street and just do this to random people on the road.
What if he came here and did it?
I'd buy it if I saw that. All this other stuff to where he's going to football teams and everybody's in the team meeting room, like those people can be in on it. And I think a segment like we had today on Get Up, that's really easy to fool people or try to fool people because he ain't fooling me.
Can I run my email by you?
Yeah, but let me finish this because he went
send yet.
He went through each guy
and he got them all.
Then he went to Bart Scott. He said, "Think of anybody," and he goes, "Ant-Man," and he was like, "All right, that's the guy you're picking." He goes, "Yeah, Ant-Man." He goes, "All right, well, give me his full name," and he goes, "Anthony Edwards." And he had already written down right on the grease board. By the way, this wasn't an envelope that he peeled and revealed. He wrote it down in front of you while that guy's back was turned. So this wasn't anything like he had 84 options of players. Then he went to PK, and he said, Thompson. And he goes, Clay? And he said, yeah, he had written it down. He'd already written down. So then this final one, he goes to Greenberg and says, any coach, close your eyes. He's walking in the studio right now. You picture yourself shaking hands with him. And then, so before he says it, he writes down the name. And then O says, you know what? I don't think he's thinking, no, he's going to change it or something like that. And he crosses a line through it and writes another name. And then he says to Greenberg, all right, who were you thinking? And he says, Udoka. But you had changed your mind, right? Or you had another name that was popping in your head. He goes, yeah, I did. He goes, who was that guy? And he goes, Popovich. And he had written it down already. I'm watching this. All the names were there. He wrote them down. So that means everybody was in on it. Now, here's where you're going to say this is really fake. All right? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Green, Edwards, Thompson, Udoka, and Popovich. All of their first letters spells what?
Green, Edwards. Get up.
Get up.
I really don't believe that.
Greenberg said in his entire life, and he's got a reputation, you can't just bring this guy on and parade him as this great mentalist and have your audience know that it's fake. Like, that could never get out. It would ruin everything. It would ruin him, the whole segment. That's why there has to be some
signing of NDAs.
Right. There's too many people involved.
I think I figured this out. TLC. AR has a soft spot for this guy because AR used to be a magician back in the day.
Oh,
so this is really why he wants this stuff to stay alive, because AR, this is nostalgic for him and taking him down, on some nice memories for what he used to do.
Is there some secret society that you magicians are all a part of?
I think that's why he's really protecting his boy.
I'll do a trick for you right now. Hold out your hand.
Oh, God.
No, the clean one. That was a joke. See, that's what I used to start with, stuff like that.
Nice. This guy.
All right, so I have an appreciation for what he does. I'm not telling you that it's 100% that I know it's real, but what I'm getting at is you guys are saying the conspiracy would have to be so large with every sports team he'd ever go to. This isn't just some magician performing tricks and they're fake or somehow there's a trick to it. He's going to way too many people over way too many years. And somebody would say, yeah, I was in on it.
I might agree with Rothman on that one.
I don't think anybody would let the cat out of the bag. I don't think so, because I think it's just a couple players per team that he goes around to.
Coaches.
There's not that many people.
You don't think one player on one team who knows another player on the team he's going to say,
what do you get out of it if you leak that, though? What does that do for you?
I just think that's the world we live in. I think somebody eventually
you get to expose him as a fraud.
I think people.
Which clearly,
why would you need to do that though?
Because you don't like that it's an act.
What's the upside in that if you're a player? Like, it doesn't.
That you expose him.
It doesn't matter that much though if you're in on it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in on it, there's no upside of saying, "Oh, well, this was fake when we did it." Like,
there's no upside.
I don't see that at all.
If you feel like he's making a living deceiving people.
I just don't think it's that serious for those people that are in the know.
Deceiving is a strong word.
Yeah.
He is an entertainer. So I don't know if deceiving, he's not trying to pluck him for money. Like, that's what deceiving would be something a little more devious. I'm with you on this, but I know where Maddie's going with it, that maybe if you were involved in the act and you felt like you were included, that would be enough for you to be like, I was trusted to be included. I'll keep it to myself. But it just feels like it's too broad.
That's deceiving
too risky.
people.
Yes, I guess deceiving people as a mentalist, as reading your mind. Yeah, I guess so. And he's got a new. Listen, the other thing about it, if it was so fake, like he wrote a book. Like he wants to sell the book. Like
he's deceiving everybody. Now he's going to become a New York Times bestseller and make millions of dollars off.
Which is why that would be the motivation for people to expose him.
He hasn't really deceived anybody yet that you know of, because no one has accused him of deceiving anyone.
Because I think people like him that do these things with him, and they would never want to pull the rug.
Or maybe they're
from
just
underneath
amazed.
That may be the case too.
I don't believe in hypnosis either. You see that happen sometimes where you see hypnotists go around to random teams and entertain everybody, and they'll put a player to sleep or whatever.
Yeah, that's just creepy to me.
I think that.
I don't even know if I would want. I'm not even going to accuse that of being wrong, because if you said to me, "Hey, I can get a hypnotist in here,"
actually, you know what? That's probably
I don't even want to
book than O's.
Of course it is.
No,
of course
I will do it.
You will be hypnotized then.
Not me and AR.
Yes.
I don't want that stuff following me when I leave.
Well,
the
reason that I don't want it is because if you were susceptible to being hypnotized, then you have zero control over what's coming out of your mouth.
I don't believe that someone can just talk you into giving up control of your own body.
Okay, so that's why I don't believe that this guy can read anybody's mind on planet Earth and know exactly what they're thinking. There's no way. There's no human walking planet Earth that can do what this guy does without the answers. I'm sorry. I just don't buy it. In the same way you don't buy that,
I don't know.
I'm not buying it.
If it was all fake, more people would have done this already. They would have figured it out how to get with networks to be invited on every show to pull this stuff off.
I am too hyper aware of my surroundings to possibly just like fall asleep because somebody snapped their fingers. Are you kidding me?
Well, I think there's a little more to it. I don't think they just do that. I think they take your brain and kind of mold it, and kind of slowly get you into a relaxed state and then zap you.
I will do it for the air. But I am kind of scared now that Maddie started talking about you don't know if that's going to follow you home.
See? I don't mess with
what does that mean, follow him home?
It's any type of spirits, any type of reading of the minds. Like, none of that. I don't keep that stuff away from me. I don't even like scary movies, AR. You know me. You think I want to do this stuff?
I will be hypnotized. We can do a palm reader on the show. I will do all of that stuff. And I will not believe any of it going into it. And I'll give you the review afterwards. Okay. I still need to email Oz's people.
I think that it's and I'll want to hear that. We'll have to go over that and confirm that. Shefty knows him pretty well. We could always go that avenue if we had an opportunity.
Ice, are you going to accuse him?
Who?
Shefty.
I'll tell him, Shefty. I'll tell him tomorrow. I don't buy it, Shefty.
You're going to tell him, hey, you're in on the bit, and all of you guys are in.
I will.
Okay.
I'll say, Shefty, I think you guys are in on it. I don't know if he's ever been a part of anything with Oz.
I don't think he would.
He has, but I'll tell him that.
I don't think any of these guys would put their reputation on it like that. I don't. I don't know how he does it. This freaked me out today too. But you're right. The only proof would be is if he did it to you. Then you'd be a believer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We come back with Dave Biddle. Is he a believer in nothing can turn college fans off? That's next in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Now you can watch Rothman and Ice.
Go to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan.
Rothman is wearing the pancake makeup, so you might as well watch. Back to Rothman and Ice.
And you may as well listen to my man Dave Biddle, editor of Bucknuts 24/7 Sports, covers the Buckeyes as well as anyone, and of course here on The Fan on Sunday mornings 9 to 11. My man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, my friend. Good to join you guys as always.
What do you think the odds are, and I know you wouldn't know a bracket or anything like that, but just in your mind right now, Texas, Ohio State, preview of a rematch this season in the playoffs?
Oh, wow. I mean, it could be. You know, they're the betting favorites, the co-betting favorites to win the national title, which is crazy when you think about it. They just played that classic game in the semifinals. Then they lead off the next season against each other. And on top of all of that, which is crazy enough, they're the two betting favorites at 5-1 to win the national title. So I'll say probably the odds are against them playing in the playoffs, if that's your question, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Like a title, like a preview of a title game. Like we see it in week one, and then they're playing for the national title.
I'll say no. We won't see them play for the national title. We won't see them play each other in the playoffs, but I could be wrong. I think probably the percentages would be against that, would be my guess.
Are you less confident in Texas or Ohio State, or maybe that's not a good way to put it, but what would make you think they wouldn't be the last two teams standing?
I just think, if you were like putting money on it, I think clearly like the odds would be like there's going to be both those teams wouldn't make it. It's nothing against either one of those teams. I understand why they're both the betting favorite. Georgia's right there behind them, and then you have Penn State and Oregon right behind them. And then Notre Dame has the sixth best odds at 11-1. So, I just think, to answer your question, Anthony, I think just probably the percentages are against both Texas and Ohio State getting there. But, man, I think they'll both be in the CFP, so there's a chance.
Bids, what's one thing that you're not hearing a bunch of conversation about when it comes to maybe let's say a flaw or something that you think could be concerning for this year's Ohio State team that you've looked at and said, okay, not that it's going to maybe crush their season, but it's something that you're hesitant to go all in and maybe call it a positive right now? What's one thing for Ohio State that you think could be a bit of a concern for them going into 2025?
Yeah, Iceman, I would say depth at defensive tackle. And I'm not breaking news there. Even Ryan Day said that they were looking for a D tackle in the portal, and he said also in the same breath, we're not just going to add one to add one. They were not able to get one. I think they like their projected starters with Caden McDonald and Edric Houston. Maybe Will Smith Jr.'s coming along. But I don't think they like their depth at D tackle. And you have some other guys that will be in the mix like Tyrone Malone, Jason Moore, Eric Mensa. But I think that'll be mitigated by the fact that I think Matt Patricia's going to use more odd fronts. I think they like their depth at defensive end. Despite losing Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, they got a couple good transfers in with Logan George and Bo Atkinson, and they had Caden Curry returning, Kenyatta Jackson returning, CJ Hicks moving down there. So I think they like their depth at defensive end. They like their linebackers with Sonny Styles, Ardell Reese, Peyton Pierce. I think we can see some more 3-4 this year. So I think that'll mitigate that concern to a degree, but that would be my main concern. The other thing I'll say is I think Julian Sands going to be a good starting quarterback here this year. I mean, I don't know when, but when will that happen? And leadership. I mean, Will Howard was just the epitome of a great leader. Now you're a redshirt freshman, Julian Sands. You have to be a leader of men, and you have to follow one of the best leaders that we've really seen come through Ohio State at the quarterback position, which is saying a lot. So I'm a little concerned because the leadership across the board was so good on last year's team. So that's a little bit of a concern, but definitely like personnel-wise, depth at D tackle.
I think it's a great comment talking to Dave Biddle about the leadership and what to expect, because that's what you got with Will Howard. I mean, we didn't know talent-wise where he would truly be when push came to shove, but we knew that he'd have that kind of veteran experience and leadership. Where are you on the offense as a whole compared to last season? I think they were 35, 36 points a game. They were probably 425 or higher in yards. Rushing, they were where? Probably about 170, somewhere like that. Where do you see a dip, if any, if you compare the numbers across the board offensively from last year to this year?
Yeah, I mean, I like their running backs this year. Like I like them a lot. Like James Peoples, the starter. C.J. Donaldson was a good get in the portal from West Virginia. Bo Jackson's going to play a lot as a true freshman. So I like this. I like their running back room a lot. I think Carlos Loughlin was a really good running backs coach. But that was the best running back tandem I've seen at Ohio State. You know, I missed Archie and Pete barely, but that's the best I've seen with Trey and Q. So they're definitely going to take a hit at running back, even though I like their running backs. Again, Julian Sand, you know, is he going to be good right away against Texas? Even C.J. Stroud, probably too much was made of. I don't think C.J. Stroud really played bad the first couple of games his redshirt freshman season. Just the defense was awful, to the point they had to demote Kerry Combs like after a couple of games after that Oregon game. They had to demote him during the season, which I've never seen before. But the point is C.J. Stroud was not a finished product as a redshirt freshman right away. So that is a concern. You know, is Julian saying, like, when is he going to be ready to be the guy that he needs to be for this team? But overall, I like this offense because of the wide receiver room. Jeremiah Smith might be the best receiver to come through here, which is crazy to say. In fact, at this point, it'll be surprising if he's not. And I say that, you know, with full respect to guys like Chris Carter, Terry Glenn, and many others. And I think this offensive line is better, which is, you know, despite losing Donovan Jackson, who's a first-round pick, all these guys got experience, like guys like Austin Saraveld. He was already playing a lot. Integra, they're already playing a lot, but they had that experience in the national championship run. And guys that weren't even playing, like Carson Hinsman, all of a sudden was a starter. Luke Montgomery was not playing. All of a sudden he's a starter, and they played well. They picked up that experience. They got Ethan Onionwa in the portal. I think that was a great get at left tackle. I think Saraveld's going to slide over to right tackle. And I really like this offensive line. It's really going to come down to, for me, how quickly Julian Sand becomes a quote-unquote good quarterback. This is the best tight end room I remember at Ohio State. And the depth even behind J.J. Smith at wide receiver is pretty crazy when you consider Mylan Graham's probably going to be the number 4 receiver. If he was the number 2 receiver, you'd say that's a pretty good number 2 receiver next to J.J. Smith. But you have Carnell Tate, you have Brandon Ennis on top of that. So it's an embarrassment of riches back there. It's going to come down to offensively. And I will say this, like, how's Brian Hartline going to do as a play caller as well? I think he's going to do fine. But how quickly is Julian Sand, if he's going to be the quarterback, how quickly is he going to be a good quarterback for this team?
Bids, you touched on the tight end room. I want to throw this at you. If you had to make a bet on who do you think will be more impactful inside the offense this year, Max Clare or Brandon Ennis, who would you roll with?
Geez, I thought you were going to give me Jelani Thurman or something. You made it a little tougher. Not that it wouldn't have been, because I think Jelani's a specimen. Oh, geez. I will say in the red zone, I'll give it to Max Clare, because I think Brandon's going to have a big year. Really, you couldn't go wrong either way. I could probably make a good argument for Brandon as well. It's a great question, Maddie. I'll go with Max Clare, but you couldn't go wrong either way.
What was your reaction to the settlement and the potential to bring, I guess, even more transparency and structure to the market of paying players? But is there a big fear you have? I mean, we've already been kind of desensitized to it all anyway. Where are you on it?
I just wrote a column about this, a commentary. I don't know how they think this clearinghouse is going to hold up in a court of law after the 2021 NCAA versus Alston hearing. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the NCAA cannot restrict athletes from making money on top of scholarships. That wasn't exactly about NIL, but it opened the door for that. And the language is clear. There's no gray area. So, for example, the first time, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, they put a clearinghouse in where now anytime a kid gets an NIL deal from a third-party entity, a collective, a booster, so anything that the university would not be giving to them directly, they have to report that to this clearinghouse, anything that's $600 and over. Okay, and that clearinghouse allegedly would then have the power to deny anything that is not market value. Well, how are they going to determine what's market value? Furthermore, the Supreme Court unanimously decided that NCAA would be violating antitrust law if they tried to do that. So the first time a kid signed, let's say, a 7-figure deal or whatever deal here in Columbus with a car dealer or whatever it might be, and this clearinghouse shoots it down and says it's void, that would get laughed out of court. I mean, that would get shot down so quickly. So I don't know how they think this clearinghouse thing is going to work. The language is very clear from the Supreme Court in that case 4 years ago.
I agree, because there may be a disconnect into what that company is valuing versus what the clearinghouse feels is appropriate compensation for it. So
right. And that's the thing, real quick. I know you guys have probably got to go, but that's the thing. In a capitalist society, your market value is whatever someone's willing to pay you. We have, in my opinion, guys, quarterbacks this year in college football that are, in my opinion, maybe above average at best, that are going to be getting paid $4 million. It doesn't matter what we think about it. That is their market value. And I don't know how this clearinghouse thinks they're going to come in and determine what their market value is. Again, that'll get shot down by because no one's going to go against the Supreme Court's precedent here.
I think the other big thing, and we can hit on this at another time, is the haves and have-nots on the team itself. This $20.5 million that Ohio State will be able to dole out. How is that going to be? I mean, is that going to be coach-driven, AD-driven? Who's going to have the player certainly is going to have leverage depending on how good they are. And are we going to get more Nikos out there because of this?
Right. We're meeting with Ross Bjork Thursday.
That's right.
So he's going to answer a lot of these questions. So that'll be nice. But yeah, I mean, you can't put the genie back in the bottle now. They're trying to with this clearinghouse. But again, and they're hoping all the entities in the NCAA, all the schools will agree not to take them to court, if one of these deals gets shot down. Well, Tennessee's already making noise that they're going to fight that. The SEC is kind of upset about that. The point is, the first time a kid gets an NIL deal shot down, he's going to take it to court, and the worst lawyer in the world would win that case for that kid.
Yep, more to come. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you jumping on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
To be continued for sure. We will come back. Bengals camp issues, Maddie. Do they even want to get better? We'll discuss next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC. an equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Celebrate Father's Day and update your lawn with a little help from Ohio Mulch. Whether it's fresh mulch, rich soil, or expert lawn care products, a beautiful landscape, well, it begins with Ohio Mulch. Right now, get 5 bags of mulch or soil for just $10.95. Make your weekend project easier in the yard. Well, it'll be the envy of the block. Visit OhioMulch.com or stop by your local store. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there from your friends at Ohio Mulch.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Cabinets and lighting fixtures, too. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Pop Road in Whitehall. 24-month financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends June 22nd. Dealers welcome.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Miss a minute of Rothman and Ice? Check out the podcast.
Type in Rothman and Ice wherever you get your podcasts. Download and subscribe.
Back to Rothman and Ice.
All right, it's a real question on whether the Bengals feel like are showing that they want to go all in and win. And I'm not here to tell you that Trey Hendrickson is worth what he's asking. I don't even know if those numbers are possible to get again. Maybe he can. He's a very good player. But there is this sense now that they only believe that all they have to do is have Joe Burrow be a Hall of Fame quarterback and they're going to be in a Super Bowl. I don't think that's very realistic. They've got a rookie defensive end in Shamar Stewart. Not that you're counting on him, but he's not practicing. The first day of mandatory minicamp. He's unsigned. Something about language in the contract. The Bengals are trying to do something different than what they've done with past first-round picks, and they're setting a new precedent with rookie contracts. Basically, what it would do is allow them to void some future guarantees. So he's not going to practice until his contract situation is resolved.
Why are we doing this? Like, if I'm a Bengals fan, why? This guy in Shamar Stewart needs all the work that he can get right now, and these are the perfect opportunities to do that if you are a young guy that's learning a whole new playbook, learning a whole new pace of play when it comes to speed in the NFL and all of those things, and he wasn't very productive when it comes to sacks in college. And so him getting into this new defense with a new defensive coordinator in Al Golden, I think is so important, and him missing this time is very unfortunate. And here we are again, talking about the same franchise dealing with these type of situations, and it seems like it's just a constant, and it has to be so frustrating for the fans, for Zach Taylor, for the guys in the locker room to have the higher-ups seeming like they're always providing in-house speed bumps for the team. It's just so odd to me that this same team is always going down this road.
There's nothing that difficult about signing a first-round pick because they're given the contract. There's a preset salary and a signing bonus based on draft position. Yeah. So we already know that. And then it's this about protecting the future, I guess, because they they want to change things of what they did with Amarius Mims and Miles Murphy in the last couple of years. And this kid's like, why start with me?
Right. I'm the guinea pig now in this whole experiment, and I don't want to be.
Or the first guy.
And I don't want to, and I can't blame Shamar Stewart for digging in on this because he and his agent are looking at exactly what you just said. History has shown us for years that you guys never do this. And now here we are, and you want to test this out on me? Like, no, I'm not doing that. And so I don't blame him for digging it.
Yeah, it's beyond my pay grade. I'm not really sure what the level of guarantees. I think that was fixed by a rookie wage, from my understanding. The signing bonus and the salary are guaranteed, like I said. So the timing of the bonus payouts and all that offset language of how a team can kind of recoup the money if they get, like if he got suspended or something, that stuff's usually negotiated, but I don't know.
I just think AR going into the season, like the Trey Hendrickson news is not surprising, right? We knew he was going to dig in. He came out and said that he'd be willing to miss games when we get to the games that actually count. We shall see. I think it's easy to say that in May and June, but he's not showing up for mandatory minicamp. That'll be about $100,000 in fines once they get done with these few days of minicamp. But Shamar Stewart, Miles Murphy, Joseph Asai, that trio is so important to the next couple years in this window that they're in. Because that is the unit that I think can really make this team scarier than what they already are. Miles Murphy, former first-round pick. He hasn't lived up to it. Joseph Asai turned a bit of a corner late in the year. He showed some flashes.
He was forced to be it.
That's a positive, but it hasn't been consistent throughout his career. So hopefully what he figured out last year will turn over into this year and be a week-in and week-out thing. But Shamar Stewart has no idea what it takes to succeed at this level. But those three guys, if they get two of those three to hit consistently, then you're on to something. That's just one level of the defense, but it's arguably the most important level of the defense because that's where the games are won at the line of scrimmage. And so for that unit right now to just have so many moving pieces with Trey out and Shamar out, it's a good thing for Miles and Joseph Asai because they're getting extra reps, but the four of those guys right now need to start building chemistry, and Al Golden needs to see what he has from those guys, and it just, for the defense's sake, it stinks that they can't get that rolling right now.
Yeah, I mean, part of me thinks, like, you would say to Shamar Stewart, like, what are you afraid of? Like, what transgressions are you afraid of that could come back to haunt you? And he would probably say, this is an emotional game. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if my team's going to get into a fight and I'm going to have to protect a teammate or punch somebody, or am I going to get suspended for something? And so his agent's probably doing the best he can to protect him for the unthinkable thing that could happen. The odd part and the counterintuitive part for me with Cincinnati from a team standpoint is you drafted this guy to be the heir apparent to Hendrickson. And so now your leverage tool against Hendrickson is also sitting out.
Yeah.
So because if they would have just signed Shamar and get him in there, don't you think that would put a little, not that Hendrickson is afraid of a rookie, but don't you think that would at least be a little bit of a leverage tool for Cincinnati to say, hey,
I don't think so, AR.
Trey, we're moving forward here.
I don't think so, just because Trey in his mind knows how good he is and how important he is to the defense.
There's a floor of salary. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think Shamar Stewart is shaking Trey Hendrickson's room at all. I don't, me personally. And Diana Rossini did throw this out there today that Cincinnati reached out to Hendrickson's camp yesterday, but there was no movement towards a new deal for the All-Pro. So that's, look, they're at a standoff here. I think the best thing for both parties, or maybe not the best thing for both parties, but the best thing I think for the Bengals side of this would be to do a short-term deal. And maybe on Trey's side of it, you could warm him up to front-loading that as much as possible, or getting that salary as high as you possibly can, close to some of the elite pass rushers in the sport. But I don't think Trey's going to sign the dotted line on anything short of a 3 or 4 year deal with where he is in age right now.
It's the guarantees. It's over those 3 years. If he could get, I don't know, 2 of the 3 years guaranteed,
maybe that'll do it. Yeah.
Honestly, if you were signing let's just, the 30 million number seems about right. And so if they gave him $90 million or $100 million and they guaranteed 60 of it, that probably would get it done.
I think the framework of that deal,
I don't know.
He probably wants 70. He probably will want 70 of it guaranteed.
He has the stats to back it up. The fact that he led the league.
Yeah.
And I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. All sacks aren't created equal. But there was one guy on the top of the list, and it's him. So he has every right to try to cash in on that stat.
Yes.
He's got 35 over the past 2 seasons, so he's not even a one-hit wonder.
No, it's 3 out of the last 4 years he's been cooking at Cincinnati when it comes to that. With guys, that, respected the Sam Hubbards of the world, he hasn't had an elite running mate opposite him to get to those numbers either. And so, look, they spent their money on offense. And I said, I tip my cap to them for doing that because I didn't know if they would go all in the way that they did. Respected them for doing that.
All have long-term deals.
But now here we are again on the flip side of it when they have cap space to get a deal done with their best defensive player and they're not doing it. You know what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a new car? You need to go up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion because they will get you right. They've got over 100 new vehicles on their website. The team that will help you out is a great team to get a deal done with. I just got a deal done with that team a couple weeks ago, and I've been riding around in my new Chevy and absolutely loving it. There are no market adjustments, no hidden costs. They've got a 2025 Traverse up to $3,000 off MSRP and 6.8% APR for 72 months for qualified buyers. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Get on up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion immediately if you need a new vehicle.
Sports Center update here, top of the hour, second hour on the way. Could this forgotten player be comeback player of the year? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if erectile dysfunction is making for a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get the care you deserve. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose to demonstrate to you the amazing effectiveness of our treatments. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sports book. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold out.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He had heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Rates as low as 5.54% and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI. Sources out of Colorado have confirmed that head football coach Deion Sanders is dealing with an unspecified illness that is keeping him away from the team and at his Texas home. For the first time since 2014, the Cincinnati Reds are the Ohio Cup champs. That series continues up at Progressive Field tonight. Slade Ciccone makes the start for Cleveland. Andrew Abbott for Cincinnati. Coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 6:10. First pitch set for 6:40. NFL minicamps underway. Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson not participating. Same for Steelers defensive end TJ Watt and former Buckeye wide receiver Terry McLaurin in Washington.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
I think someone was listening earlier to the first segment of the show because Awful Announcing just put out a tweet about O's the Mentalist, and it says, fellow comrades, we're losing this one. Stay strong as the fight continues. The fight is that a lot of people feel like Maddie, that it's time to retire this act. Because how many times can you do the same trick, read somebody's mind? You're blowing away the same people all the time. It's all the network hosts. But I find it entertaining, and I find it very interesting. And I even like going down the road of thinking about how it could be done if it wasn't some innate, God-given mental ability. I'll even entertain thoughts of, all right, if it is fake, how is he faking it? And you came up with the obvious one, which is everybody's in on it. And I'm pushing back on that because there's too many people. We live in a world where people talk. And somewhere along the line in the last 5 years, somebody would have something out there that says, this guy told me he was in on it. This player told me he was in on it. And that hasn't happened yet. And he dedicated about 10 minutes of this. ESPN is doing this. And I wonder if, because it says in the tweet that he was on Get Up this morning and First Take just said they now want him to appear, like maybe more often.
No, we need less of this man.
I enjoy it. He sometimes comes up with a little different slant on things, predicting teams that'll be in the game, which is here's my theory. I think he pushes it a hair too far. I think I would leave even a little more mystery. Not only did he name every one of these guys who they were thinking, but it's spelled get up with the first letter.
That's what I'm like,
I would have left that out because that means not only do you have to predict it, you have to get it in order. Yeah. It would have been better is if they were all a little bit jumbled.
You know what?
And then
would
he
be
took
better?
the leading letter and then it spelled it out. Not like in order.
You know what would be better for me is if I never heheard this man's name ever again.
Wow.
Or saw him do anything
that big
ever again.
He's the most hated man in sports for you?
No, who is the most? I don't know. See, hate's too strong. Nobody gets that. I know what you mean, but even in that sense, I don't really have that person or team right now. And I'm like, that guy.
You just let it.
Then you don't fan hard enough.
Yeah. No, Maddie's just a normal, level-headed guy.
I'm usually just chilling when it comes.
Media man Maddie.
For you then, who is it then? Hot take specialist over there. Got to have a hot take all the time. Who is your guy?
Ray Lewis.
Okay, I respect that as a Steelers fan.
For many reasons.
I respect that.
But not now.
Yeah, now. Got a guy in the league. In any league. Who is that for you?
Well, Ray Lewis is always the knee-jerk answer, so now I actually have to think about it.
Yeah.
I'll give an answer at some point.
Coming after me for not having a guy, but he can't even come up with one himself. You got to love it.
Angel Reese. Done. Done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
What has Angel Reese ever done to you?
It's
nothing personal.
That's all I'm asking. How do you get there?
Look, I'm a firm believer that you can kind of have some sort of path to disliking somebody that can go through other people. I think that you can dislike somebody because of their fans and their sycophants. And Angel Reese is really only famous because she antagonized Caitlin Clark. I don't even think a lot of people are even aware that she wasn't even the Chicago Sky's first draft pick in that draft. I think that Camila Cardosa, she went third, right? And then Angel Reese went seventh. Angel Reese is popular for one reason, and it's because she's popular. It has nothing to do with basketball. And if you listen to the way that people talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, it is becoming increasingly obvious, and RG3 and Ryan Clark made it extremely obvious to everybody. This stuff has nothing to do with basketball.
Ryan Clark, he took an L on that one. As that continued to unfold day after day and the things that were coming out, he took an L on that one. I will give Angel Reese credit, though. Herself and her marketing team have done a tremendous job capitalizing on all of this stuff. She's on cereal boxes. She's doing modeling stuff. The basketball, she's fine. She's a fine basketball player. To your point, she's not as good as I think some people were making her out to be.
No, she's probably in the most overrated category.
She's so young, and I don't know if we're there yet, but I think to what you guys are saying, the basketball stuff isn't as great as maybe some of the attention that she's getting, but the attention that the league is getting because of her and Caitlin Clark, they couldn't ask for more.
And it's also the social media behavior of leagues, too. I always got made fun of in St. Louis radio because I would use the word exhaust way too easily. That's exhausting. This is exhausting. But I'm just being serious. There was a tweet from a CBS Sports Twitter account, I think this weekend. If you didn't see it, just take my word for it. The tweet caption was, Angel Reese out there making it look easy. She had a breakaway layup.
Well, they got you then.
Exactly.
Because
I'm
that's
just saying,
the reason why they're doing that.
Everybody also involved. But it is just nasty, honestly. How a lot of people are using these two and pretending like they're actually interested in Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for basketball purposes. They're using it as a jumping off point to talk about what they really want to talk about, which is race. And it's increasingly obvious.
Well, it depends on what platform you catch the conversation.
True.
And,
I'm speaking.
There's agendas for a lot of different
generally
for platforms. I got you.
She is more popular for being the villain.
No one knew who she was. I watched that game and no one knew who she was until the very end of the game.
We knew who she was in college sport, in women's college. I followed women's college basketball.
But I'm talking about the LSU Iowa game. I'm saying that championship game, no one knew who she was until the end of that game.
Well,
and
she
that is the only reason she's popular.
Didn't have the popularity or skill that Caitlin Clark has. She has a certain talent level to be where she is, of course. But I think she is more popular for being a villain that Maddie has pointed out correctly that now her team has leaned into. And so you're going to get some sympathy for maybe some unwarranted knocks on her. But I also think that she brings it on herself a lot. When Caitlin Clark was bumped to the ground by a teammate, she was up cheering about it. There's a rivalry there.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if there's some dislike.
I agree.
Between the two of them. I think
agree.
it's okay to have that. I will say this. Boots on the ground for me. I went to the Fever and the Sky game, the opener in Indy. And there was a lot of Angel Reese merch and jerseys buzzing around the city. So she has a good backing. And I think those two, if they can
Why do you think she has a good backing? Because of people that want to back her against Clark?
You'd have to ask those people. I don't know. But she is marketable and popular to a large percentage of people that follow women's basketball. So she does. She has that. And look, I think both those players, whether they say it or not, there's a healthy, maybe not healthy is a little too strong, but there's a decent dislike in the sports world between the two of them. I don't know if it's personal, like off the court type of stuff. I don't know. But there's something there for sure. And I think that's okay because we see it in sports all the time. And when you can have two faces of a league that don't get along, I think that's what you want, is to have that marketability for whatever league that you represent or whatever league that you own if you're the owner of that league.
I agree. Look, I think villains are good for sports. I do question whether or not she's capable of being the villain. Like we were talking about Draymond Green when I was co-hosting with you on Thursday. Draymond Green, my issue with Draymond Green is that nobody else is standing up to him, which is not a Draymond Green issue. That's an everybody else issue.
No. See, I have a issue. I don't think he plays. I think he's a cheap shot artist. I think he plays really dirty.
I agree.
I think that's why. I'm more upset than
I agree, but I at least think Draymond Green walks it like he talks it. And so there's like a respect there of like, okay, I believe you. Angel Reese is good for a social media meltdown like every 3 months.
Well, here's the thing,
I don't even think she's capable of being the villain that she claims other people are making her, but she walked herself into.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I think this is a individual case to where she's the villain for one person. I don't think this is a Draymond Green league-wide thing with Angel Reese. We only hear about this stuff when these two women get on the court together. That's it. You're not hearing anything about Angel Reese starting a whole bunch of crap with anybody else around the league.
That's fair.
It's an individual
case. Well, then she's got it. It's either, a lot of it I thought was birthed a little bit by the popularity of Clark when she came in the league and how a lot of players were envious of it. And Angel Reese seemed to me like she was number one in the rankings of people that were envious of Caitlin Clark and that were envious of all the attention she was getting based on that she's like the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
I don't know if the envy was there at the time because Angel Reese was just as popular as Caitlin was coming out of college at the time. Women that were already in the league, you're right, that was there from some of the vets that were already in the WNBA. But Angel Reese was just as popular as Caitlin Clark when they were at LSU and they were at Iowa. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's there.
Look, man, if you're going to be loud, you can't be a role player where there's an 8-minute compilation on Twitter of you missing layups. Like, there is a lack of respect from me and a lot of other people for Angel Reese because we don't think that she can play.
I did not have on my bingo card Angel Reese being your most hated athlete in the sport in the world right now. That was a surprise.
It's part her, and it's part a lot of noise around her. It's a part of a lot of people using her for social media stuff. It's a part of, I think that the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff is really a farce and how it's being used to talk about other things that aren't really about basketball, but it's a people like trying to act like they're WNBA fans, but really want to talk about something else. And so it's almost like disingenuous on their part too. It's not just Angel Reese herself. I think LeBron fans make LeBron a lot more unlikable than LeBron is by himself. So it can be by association, and for her it is too.
I think there's what the elephant in the room. A lot of it is that people are backing one of the two based on race. It's happening. You can see it.
Yeah.
And the arguments are getting off the rails because of it. And so I think a lot of what we just talked about is probably fairly true, that Caitlin Clark is a more skilled player than Angel Reese, a lot more maybe. Angel Reese certainly has a place in the game. And the fact that they are somehow rivals like Larry and Magic is way too much for me to take. But women's basketball needs to cling to stuff like that, because if they don't get that, I don't know if they'd have enough.
Correct. That's why I said
the transcendent popularity.
And that's why I said at the end of the day, this is awesome for that league. Something that happened in college carried over to the WNBA. And now here we are spending a segment talking about
Reese
these two
getting
women.
all these commercials if she is just a pro and competitive, but not like this? Probably not.
No, and I think it's a great thing that the WNBA requires that you spend all 4 years in college. And it's with Juju Watkins, it's allowing her to continue to be a star at USC, and then that's going to develop into a star. We just saw with Paige Beckers. Like, we know who these people are because we are actually able to follow their careers, and they're able to develop those rivalries in college. No one knows who the college basketball players are on the men's side. At least not the good ones.
Well, you do have Cooper Flags.
Yeah, I mean, people that follow the sport,
you know,
follow March Madness.
Okay, if you're Jacob Reimer, yes, you do.
No, I think anybody that fills out a bracket, or most people, have an idea of who some of the top basketball players are in college.
Okay,
but anyway.
Baylor's going to have a kid that goes in the lottery, some shooting guard. Do any of us know his name? He was in the tournament. I don't know his name. Like Edgecombe or something like that?
Well, I think because
true.
you don't know
Baylor
the name doesn't mean there's people that may know the name.
Okay.
So,
all right. We got to take a break. We'll come back. And comeback player of the year. Why is this guy included? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Celebrate Father's Day and update your lawn with a little help from Ohio Mulch. Whether it's fresh mulch, rich soil, or expert lawn care products, a beautiful landscape, well, it begins with Ohio Mulch. Right now, get 5 bags of mulch or soil for just $10.95. Make your weekend project easier in the yard. Well, it'll be the envy of the block. Visit OhioMulch.com or stop by your local store. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there from your friends at Ohio Mulch.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply. Greener, greener, better.
Stories like this are really who we are. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. One of my son's coaches was having an issue with his transmission in his Honda. He had gotten quoted almost $9,000. He's like, can you help me out on the price on getting one through your Honda dealership? And I said, yeah. I said, but let's bring the vehicle in and let's make sure you, in fact, do need a transmission. We did a complete flush on his transmission and a software update on it, and that fixed his problem. And this guy has an extra $8,500 in his pocket because he reached out, and I was able to connect him with my staff. We're going to take a step back and to make sure we're actually treating the core issue, not just the symptom.
This month at Lindsay Honda, choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL, Honda HR-V or CR-V, and pay just $299 a month at our famous Lindsay Honda Trade-A-Thon. We'll trade for anything and give you $1,000 more for your vehicle all month long. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A big change in our weather today from Monday, as we will see a lot more sunshine and temperatures climbing in the mid to upper 70s, much closer to average. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 50s, and then get ready for even more sunshine and heat on Wednesday as our highs get in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once ran the table on the World 9-Ball champion. Coincidentally, Maddie is out looking for a magic 8-ball. Signs point to, this is Rothman and Ice.
When you're in the zone, you're in the zone. Southern Bowling and Billiards. AR versus Earl the Pearl Strickland.
Cooked them. You cooked them.
Well, I was under the radar. That's going to be another summer story I'll tell. You know, I have that on video.
Yeah.
It isn't just some radio story I tell.
Dust that VHS off, big dog.
Get it? Might have been on a VHS.
Wasn't a DVD, was it?
Not on a DVD. We had little tapes and TV. We went from the big 3/4-inch tapes to DVC Pro is what they called it. Like almost little cassettes.
Yeah.
All right. I did not expect this name to pop up in the comeback player of the year. Do you have the odds?
I do. I do have the odds over at Bet365. You want to guess? You want me to tell you who the leader in the clubhouse is?
They're so weird because I never know who's supposed to be eligible for it. I even thought Joe Burrow was a weird eligible candidate for it, but I guess he had enough ailments that he dealt with. But I guess I think I know now.
What do you think you know?
Would Aaron have jumped into this thing in the last few days?
He is not AR.
Why not?
It's an interesting question because I didn't even think of him as comeback player of the year. But the favorite on the board at Bet365 right now?
Yes. He is all the time.
Who?
CMC, I'm sure.
He's second. You're close. Okay. It's Aiden Hutchinson. So you got Aiden Hutchinson at plus 200 and CMC and Dak for the second best odds to win comeback player of the year at plus 300. I don't think they would deem Aaron Rodgers as a candidate AR just because he's not coming off of an injury.
Technically,
right? So
isn't eligible?
Yeah. I think that's what they would tell us, why he wouldn't be in the mix for that.
All right. I guess I can accept that since he didn't play. I don't know. That's why I say I don't know what the criteria is for this. It used to be injury related.
Yeah.
Maybe all of it is somewhat injury related.
But I think Peter Schrager may have a wild card for us.
Yeah, this is a name that I did not. First of all, I don't know anybody that would put any money on this guy, but I guess you could make the case that he'd have an opportunity.
Yes, and that guy is who?
I think Daniel Jones, Greeny, is the early favorite for comeback player of the year.
Tell me more.
I think he's going to win that starting job, and I think he's got a very good offense in Indianapolis and a fresh new place with a fresh new start. It's going to be him and Anthony Richardson, who's dealing with an injury right now. Jones is going to have the leg up in that competition coming in because of that, and I believe that he and Shane Steichen might be able to put together a season in a what I believe is a watered-down AFC South after Houston. This guy could be the one that we're talking about, like we talked about with Darnold last year.
There are opportunities to win there. What is your take, Danny, on Danny Dimes in this new opportunity?
Yeah, it's a good place for him. I think the ability to utilize his legs, which Shane Steichen likes for his quarterbacks, will be a prominent part. The huge question mark, the unknown, is the Anthony Richardson health. I mean, Peter goes, I think he's going to win the job. Will it almost be given to him? Because off of last week, and Anthony Richardson's news was he should be back for training camp. But this is a good place for any quarterback. I think this offensive line will be a good group. They got a lot of perimeter players. A.D. Mitchell in his year 2. It's a good place for Daniel Jones if he is the starting quarterback. I just don't think it's the ideal desire of the organization. They should want Anthony Richardson to be the guy.
AR, real quick before you go, I've got some new information on Anthony Richardson, and I'll hand it off to you. This is coming from Shane Steichen, their head coach, today at minicamp. He is saying that Anthony Richardson is flying out to L.A. to get a second opinion on his shoulder. Steichen says nothing has changed, and the plan is just to rest his shoulder for now. There's no official timetable on a return.
I almost laughed. And I don't hate Danny Jones. I think he had great athletic ability when he first came in, and I thought he had some flashes, but to think that you would pick him just based on opportunity with Indy, a quarterback, I get that. Quarterbacks have probably a better chance than most, but the fact that it's a loaded field, you've got Pro Bowl level talent on that board that you can bet on. Mm-hmm. You're going to bet on Daniel Jones? What are his odds?
He's not even on the board.
Oh, okay.
At Bet365 right now. He's not even on the board. I hear what they're saying.
I'll apologize to Schrager at the end of the year if he is right on this. But if you're telling me that I can pick, like you said, Aiden Hutchinson or Christian McCaffrey or even Dak Prescott, I guess if the odds were so long that it'd be worth sprinkling a little bit on him if he was like 60 or 70 to 1.
Yeah.
So I get that temptation because he's a quarterback, but are we really thinking the production would follow that just because he is the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts?
You would have to really believe in what Peter and Dan said, and it's that everything around him would provide a safe enough floor, and his skill set would take that to a higher level. And I think you would have to buy into what we've seen around the league the last few years, and it's guys getting second or third chances in some instances, like a Baker Mayfield, like a Geno Smith, and what we just currently watched was Sam Darnold in Minnesota. There's been a little bit of that traction around the league to where guys that have, in Daniel Jones's case, this would be his third team, I believe, going from the Giants, Minnesota, and now Indy, to where when you sit down for a little bit of time and you've been around the league for a long enough time, when it's your time to go, or when you get this opportunity, you can grab a hold of that and run with it to success, and for the individual to more money, like Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold just got. I'm not a believer just based off of everything that I've seen from Daniel Jones, but I'm willing to be wrong. I'd rather bet on a guy like J.J. McCarthy at plus 750 to win Comeback Player of the Year, because I think the shock of a, quote, rookie coming off of getting off the mat within an offense that should be good, I think there's some decent value there for me at plus 750, rather than betting on a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to need a high level of sacks coming off a tough injury to get that done up there in Detroit.
I'm with you on that. This battle that I thought was going to happen between Richardson and Daniel Jones seems like a lot less of a battle now.
Especially with this injury.
That's it. So the Vikings, I mean, my first thought was, well, what do the Vikes think of Daniel Jones? They let him walk, but they also let Darnold walk. And so they know what they have. They think they know what they have in J.J. McCarthy, and they have to find out. And Daniel Jones left for one reason, and it was a good reason. He went to a place where he can play. And he was afraid that the Vikings letting Darnold go, he read into that as, well, they really must think so much of JJ that the only chance I get on the field is if he gets injured again. So
he got 1 year, $14 million from the Colts. So decent money there. That could be the steal of all steals when we talk contracts in the NFL. If Daniel Jones does what Schrager and Dan Orlovsky can do, let me run this by you real quick.
Ours was the steal of steals when we got Darnold for $10 million.
For $10 million. There's no doubt.
Into 15 wins.
They are the NFL comeback player of the year, is typically given to a player who demonstrates resilience in overcoming adversity and returns to play after being sidelined due to an injury, illness, or other circumstances that led to them missing playing time in the previous season.
And the reason for that is because of 2 years ago, the big debate was Joe Flacco versus DeMar Hamlin. So it was like Joe Flacco was just old and shocked people with how good he was. And so that was the dispute.
Yeah. I thought Hamlin was going to get the Alex Smith Award, which is if you can put the uniform on and take and play a
it's
play
your award.
That you win.
Yeah, it's your award.
You can't be almost declared dead on the field, come back and play at a high level and not win the award.
Yeah, I hear you.
And Alex Smith, who was...
His leg was...
Amazingly, he's playing golf and...
He's doing some stuff for ESPN, some analyst work over there.
He's good.
So good for him.
He is very good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back, and we'll grade the Browns in the offseason because somebody else has put a letter on it. We'll tell you. And what does Myles Garrett think of Aaron being in the division? You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty was a big Browns fan. Scratch that, we mean he's a big fan of the former Browns. Oh, yeah? The Baltimore Ravens. This is Rothman and Ice.
He is indeed.
Yep.
All right, before we get to the Brownies and their offseason.
Oh, and minicamp videos and OT all over the place today.
I'm not going to believe this grade. I think they've actually done better than this grade. You guys will tell me where this is. And a lot of it is based on the rescuing of the Myles Garrett trade request. I know it's easy to say money solves everything, and it probably did a lot. But I bought it hook, line, and sinker when he had the letter and signed it, and I'm not going from Cleveland to Canton, and it's not about money. It's about winning, and I need to have a plan, and who's the quarterback and all that. And nothing really changed, and he's back.
The goal is to not go from Cleveland to Canton, but Cleveland to the bank. That's the goal.
And back and before.
And time again. That's my goal, Andrew Barry.
The fact that the Browns didn't bend the knee to Myles Garrett as far as meeting the trade request, which was financially a problem anyway, and he signs a new extension instead, am I giving the Browns too much credit for that?
Maybe, but I don't think you're getting carried away with the credit that you're giving them, because I would have understood if they did trade Myles Garrett with where the franchise was, the outlook of not only their team, but the conference and the division as well. How close are they to the Bengals and Ravens? How close are they to the Bills and the Chiefs and some other teams around the conference? It didn't feel like they were close going into the offseason. So if you were Andrew Berry at that time, you said, all right, look, this sucks. Our fan base is not going to really like it. But if we could turn Myles Garrett into a couple first-round picks, a first-round pick, a couple seconds, whatever that would have looked like, I wouldn't have dunked on them for doing that, because all of this offseason was about figuring out what the heck we're doing at quarterback. Now, maybe they found a funky way to do that. We shall see. And maybe that'll come in next year's draft. Who knows? But the fact that they got the Myles thing done is a huge feather in the cap of Andrew Berry. And like you said, you throw $40 million a year at any player in the league, they're not turning that down.
Non-quarterback.
Correct. What was odd was the clip that we played when he was on with the NFL Network and Andrew Siciliano. And Andrew Siciliano was saying, well, you obviously like what you're hearing about the quarterback plan, right? And he was saying, yeah. And I'm paraphrasing.
With this wry smile, too.
Like, I know something. So,
enough for him to even follow up with.
Correct.
Do you know?
Right. And so,
did he say I do, but I can't say?
I'm pretty sure that's what he said, AR. So he was in on that. But over at CBS Sports.
You want to talk about a fake. That was him faking.
That's what I tell you. I don't ever buy what these guys say.
That means he bought. That means that $40 million bought company PR.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. So over at CBS, they ranked AR 5 teams who they believe are having the worst off seasons. And they have the Browns slotted at 3. They think the Browns have had the 3rd worst offseason. A lot of it is rooted in, according to them, this quarterback room and how we got there, and not understanding the doubling down of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders to pair with Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. And yes, technically Deshaun is on the roster, but I don't think he will be on the active roster come game 1. And so that's what CBS is highlighting, that one of the questions they're saying, why did the Browns draft 2 quarterbacks, and why did they draft these 2 quarterbacks? Does either even have a shot to start this year?
Let me tell you, if we all are really honest with ourselves, where did Shedeur get picked? What number?
144?
Somewhere like that. Okay.
Yeah, right
He's
around
50 picks behind Gabriel. Yeah. All right, so 144. So let's all get back. Let's get in the hot tub time machine and go back to draft weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we come in here on Monday, and they actually used the 2nd pick on Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
The world would not have exploded.
No.
There would have been a lot of debate on whether he was worth it or not, but there would have been a ton of intrigue about it. I think most Browns fan would be like, okay, probably a little bit of a reach, but he's a Sanders. Let's go. Prime time. Here we are. Maybe we can do it. I'm telling you, they got him at 144. So to grade them, I could easily have seen the reality of them picking him 2 and coming in on Monday and not completely crushing it.
I wouldn't have crushed it.
I wouldn't have either.
Right. So the fact that they got him at 144 and he was the logical pick at 2 for a quarterback-starved franchise, and they traded back to 5, and they were able to get a first-round pick for next year, how would you grade their offseason 3rd worst?
I don't think they're looking at it, AR, as the Shedeur as an individual talent.
It's the receivers and the safeties.
It's not their issue. I think they're just saying their quarterback room makes no sense. They also highlight they don't believe that they got enough in the Jacksonville trade because they're high on Travis Hunter. So it's a 2-parter there. They don't believe they got enough in return, and they wouldn't have, that being CBS, passed on Travis Hunter, who they look at as a generational guy with what he can do on offense and defense. And you take a defensive tackle instead of a guy that can help you on both sides of the ball. In the Browns' case, as Andrew Berry told us himself, they would have had Travis Hunter as more of a receiver than a defensive back.
I was listen, I wasn't as crazy about Mason Graham as everybody else was. He's a good player. He's a good player. Did I think he was worth where they picked him? We'll see. I don't think so. But
in that slot, I need a pass rusher that's getting home and getting busy, not a D tackle.
Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson, 2 pretty elite.
I'm in on those guys.
Dudes, I'm not denying you. I was the one that came in and said quarterback stuff was a head scratcher. There was no reason, and you and I both think it was Haslam ordering the code red on Sanders.
Yeah.
Or maybe the group just got together and said, we don't like him as much as Dylan, but we're not dead sure that Dylan's going to be anything, so now we can volume shoot, and Shedeur is just too big of a value. Maybe I'll take him for their word that they had no real intention on taking Shedeur, but he was there then. Still on the board.
Up.
No, I know, but still there when they lose. Yeah, when they felt it. But they felt like he got into the value zone where they could go up and get him. So I'm with you. I'll never get the answer to, and they'll never have to answer why you must think Dylan's that much better than Shedeur. Like you must, on paper, think he's that much better.
Well, I'm big on ignoring, for the most part, what teams tell us and following their actions. And their actions told us exactly what you said, AR, is that they looked at Dylan Gabriel and said he's better than Shedeur. We're taking him.
Their offseason was mad, but it wasn't third worst.
No, because I think they actually, what they did outside, and the quarterback situation got so much focus, and I understand why. But outside of that, I like what they did in the draft. Like the Mason Graham thing, we shall see.
I love the draft.
Their thought probably in-house is you get a force in the middle of this defensive line to pair with Myles Garrett, and we're going to have a nasty defensive front. I know what they're thinking. I get that. But I don't want to get distracted from the job that I think Andrew Berry did, which was a good job. Because I think they got right now talent in this draft, especially on offense, to pair with the vets that they have. And if they get some respectable play at quarterback, I don't think their offense is going to be bottom in the league in points per game to where they were a season ago.
I could easily say that, okay, they don't have enough in the receiver room to make you excited. But right now, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? The quarterback being good or the receivers helping the quarterback? I know the safety room was thin, but their offseason was, from an organizational standpoint, much better than that grade. If you want to just go player to player and how they handled the draft, okay, maybe if you just want to put it in a vacuum. But this was an organizational draft. This was not for this year. This was a hope for a future. Yeah. They've got the pick next year. If none of these quarterbacks work, they've got the ammunition to get a higher-ranked quarterback next year. This quarterback draft wasn't a lock anyway. So I just think they're being judged a little poorly. And I also think that Andrew Berry could have gutted this thing for one trade with Myles Garrett and didn't do it. Now, maybe he feels pressure. If I gut this thing, I won't be around to rebuild it.
Yeah.
But he could have gutted it for Garrett.
Speaking of Garrett.
Yeah. He's got a comment today after minicamp today. Somebody, I guess, asked him about Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's a good opportunity to put him in the graveyard.
Put him in the graveyard.
You remember when he did that years ago?
Yeah.
Miles, he had all the quarterbacks. I think it was at his house, I believe.
It's the tombstones.
Yeah,
he goes all out at Halloween.
Yeah, he's all in. He really does. So, you know what? Bring Aaron Rodgers in here. Just another notch on his belt. He'll probably get him a couple times, but I love that. I love that we got a little AFC North trash talk going on the 10th day of June. I'm here for it. Myles Garrett can talk all the trash he wants. One of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he's not pulling an Albert Bell and trying to run kids down during Halloween. He's just putting tombstones in his yard. That's all he's doing.
Poor Fernando Avina.
We're going to come back with
got an announcement.
By the way, this was the biggest lock in sports. I said it was at the time, and it turns out it's true. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here. The new weight loss meds are having results, but what happens after you stop taking them? I didn't want to rent my results. I wanted to own them to keep the weight off. I chose the medication-free solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, get 50% off your windows. That's half off, plus no interest, no payments for 12 months, and a free entry door with your window purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. We'll say that again. Real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. Pick your flavor, pick your mix-ins, or try one of our featured recipes. And get an ice cream quake made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes. New from United Dairy Farmers.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Learn the game, meet future stars, and have a blast at the Browns Youth Football Camps. In partnership with University Hospitals, the camps kick off Monday, June 16th. Go to browns.com/youthfootballcamps25 to sign up today.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
I wish you had the tape of me saying, I don't know, maybe it was 6 weeks ago or whenever it was, that this was going to be the biggest lock in sports. That game day would be here for the Texas-Ohio State game, and Lee Corso would cap his career, bookend it, with the first mascot hat he ever put on in Brutus. And I have to go as far now and say that he will do it again.
You have to.
He won't go Longhorn.
You can't.
He can't.
You got to bookend it.
He's got to bookend it. He's got to bookend it with his boy Kirk there. It only makes sense.
Yes.
To do that. Now
he'll have it out too, AR, because what will the spread look like right now on that day?
Listen, it could be a pick-em.
That's
it
what
could
I'm
be
saying.
Buckeyes by 1.5. It could be Texas by 3.5.
Anything like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to that key number or not. It
Regardless,
depends. Yeah.
It'll be in that window, right? So I think
irregardless,
he's gonna have an out, right? If Texas is the favorite, it's close enough.
Oh no,
I think Ohio State
never been about.
My point is, AR,
who he thinks is going to win.
It won't look foolish, right? Like if Texas was favored by 20, you're picking Ohio State just because. I think he'll have that out.
Do you remember? So this was, I don't know, 6-7 years ago.
Do you remember?
Scotty and I we had a site that you could bet on. This is somewhere overseas.
Name the site.
No. Somewhere overseas. Pumping in a credit card.
Bovada.
It could have been Bovada. Yeah, it could have been Bovada. 5 dimes, whatever. So You could bet on Corso's mascot choice.
Oh,
now
you were all over this.
Now, you want to talk about fake and people being in on it. You only needed 2 people. The SID and the producer. Like, that was it. You had 2 people you knew, and anybody on that team, even if you put both mascot heads there, they knew what he was going to do. He told them. And so you would never want to bet, and they were offering these crazy odds on the underdog. But why would there be an underdog? It's one guy's pick.
Right.
The difference between Corso and everybody else is he never put the mascot head on based on who he really thought was going to win the damn game. It was just whatever he was feeling at the time. But it has been announced, and he started putting on the mascot head in 1996, and he is going to make his final pick in Columbus, and he will be here. The whole gang will be here. And so it was October 5th, 96, before the Ohio State-Penn State game. And I assume this one will now be when they move it into the stadium. You know, they used to do the whole game day outside there.
Yeah, come on in.
French
Come on in, the
Fieldhouse,
water's
St. John.
fine.
So they'll probably do the pick inside. And you would never, I just think he'd always go home. He always has a special feel for Ohio State, always has a special feel for certainly his friend Kirk Herbstreit. So he's the last remaining from the original game day.
Yeah,
which started in 1987. If you would have made me guess what year, I wouldn't have guessed that. And so he's made 430 selections all time. And this may be interesting to you. Have you already read the details of this?
Of what's coming for week 1 this year?
I was going to ask you, if he's put the mascot head on 430 times, what do you think his winning percentage is of which mascot head he picked based on saying who he thinks would win the game? He wore the Brutus for the initial pick in 93. So he started in 87 with the crew, started doing the mascot thing in 93, and the Buckeyes won the game. So he's going to turn 90, by the way. God bless him. 3 weeks before the last college game day. So we pray for good health and all that.
No doubt. I'm going to guess he's batting about
if you
45%.
If you asked me, I would have definitely said under 50%.
I'm at 45%. Yeah. Where's he at?
In an amazing upset.
70.
He's actually, it's 66.5%.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Now, this is not spread. This is just who he thinks is going to win the game. But you got to make the assumption that most game day games are low spread games.
Yeah, no doubt. I sent TLC some audio, AR.
All right.
The first time he ever put the headgear on here at Ohio State. Let's hop in the hot tub time machine. Fowler, Corso, Herbie on the desk. Here it is.
I think the best thing going for Penn State in this football game is the fact they come in as an underdog, close to a 10-point underdog. They will be very excited to come in. Curtis Enos, an Ohio kid, is going to be very excited. But I think the difference in this game will be the difference in attacking the line of scrimmage, the blitzing. And you're going to see a big Ohio State offense line. I like Ohio State 24-13.
All right, good pick. I'll tell you one thing. Buckeyes! Ohio State number 1! All right, can you see? Hey.
The spread was how much for a 3 versus 4 game? You said it was 10.5?
10?
Wow.
Yeah.
Now they crushed them. And by the way, you know they beat the week before. TLC.
Oh, gee, let me guess. Is it a team in South Bend, Indiana?
Is that South Bend?
I'm Irish.
Right. My boy Demetrius.
Good Lord.
So I don't really know why that spread was that big. 3 versus 4.
I love when Corso puts on the headgear and he does a little wave with it too.
Does
I love the little wave.
The princess wave.
Yeah.
He's worn Brutus Buckeye 45 times. Great number.
Shout out
legendary
to Arch.
number.
Shout out to Archie. The GOAT.
Which school is next?
Which school is next?
Most mascot heads worn.
I am going. Can I get a conference?
I would give it away, I think. Well,
you'd be surprised.
it may not. SEC.
The Gators.
No.
Oh.
No. By the way, he played for Florida State, so I don't think he would ever.
SEC, not the Gators. You said maybe a little surprising.
No, I thought it would be obvious.
The Tiger head?
Did you already say Alabama?
Bama.
Roll Tide? Okay.
Yeah, Bama. 38. He's worn 69 different schools' mascots' headgear. This will be the 67th time Ohio State will be playing at a game day location.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most. Bama's second. Ohio State has the most college game day victories. 45. Legendary. They've hosted game day the most. This will be the 26th college game day broadcast from Columbus. Ohio State is 19-6 when hosting game day.
Okay.
So there you go. August 30th. Corso, Brutus, meet again for the final time. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Lock, right?
That he's picking the Buckeye head?
Yes.
Brutus? Yeah, no doubt. All day and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Take it to the bank.
Of course. It's not even a...
It would make no sense. Well, it would make football sense for him to do it.
Maybe. Yeah.
But just for the vibes and history and bookending his great career, you got to go Brutus start to finish.
You don't think Lee Corso is going to turn heel on his way out the door?
No.
Not on his last tour.
If the game was at Texas, he'd probably go along.
He's not doing his last tour like John Cena and going heel after being babyface. No, that's what happened.
All right, we come back, top of the hour, SportsCenter update. Come back, Chet Roulette. He'll spin the wheel next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Summer is officially here, and that means rising temperatures. You're going to be thinking about how you can keep cool all summer long. What's the best plan here? Well, one of the ways you can beat the heat and keep the air conditioning you're paying for in your home is to get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. And now's a great time to do it. They've got a semi-annual sale where you buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows for free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a whole house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027. It's a deal that can't be beat. You're getting a great deal from Window Nation because they are high-efficiency windows that are also very affordable. They do that by working directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. But don't wait on that semi-annual sale. You buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows free. Free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. You've got to schedule your estimate today. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through June 30th. See store for details.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ, that's JOEQ, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. With their win last night, the Cincinnati Reds secured their first Ohio Cup since 2014. That series continues tonight up at Progressive Field. Slade Ciccone, he'll make the start for the Cleveland Guardians opposite Cincinnati's Andrew Abbott. Coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 6:10. First pitch set for 6:40. The Columbus Clippers starting a series in Buffalo against the Bisons at 6:35 today. Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end TJ Watt, and former Buckeye and current Washington Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin among those skipping mandatory minicamp in the NFL, all of them looking for new contracts. Off day for both the NBA and Stanley Cup finals. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or you can visit them online at rcdrv.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. We'll spin a little chat roulette at the moment. Kids got some fun little stories. Before we get to that, I do want to ask you guys all saw the catch last night. Denzel Clark.
Yes.
For the A's. Mm-hmm. So he did the Spider-Man thing again where he, timed it perfectly, went into left center, climbed the wall, caught the ball, and robbed the home run. I forgot who hit it.
Doesn't matter,
but
right?
The Angels still rolled and won the game. Yep. But if you haven't seen the catch, it's worth seeing. Mm-hmm. It's being touted as like the best catch ever. And when you say it's not, that doesn't mean that you're taking away from what it was.
You're a hater. Don't you know that's how it works?
Man, I tell you, anytime you have to analyze, go back and watch it.
Yeah.
And tell me it's a great catch. Please hear me correctly. It's really, from an athletic standpoint, it's awesome. But where he catches the ball with his left arm above the wall is not where a lot of people think he caught the ball. They think he caught it down under the wall and brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
From my eyes, his momentum of his hand, and this is, by the way, this is the talent of the catch. So hear me correctly. When when that ball goes over with the glove, he's got to make sure that ball doesn't fall out. So he has to do the scoop underneath the wall, but the ball's already in the glove. It's a great, unbelievable catch. It's not the best catch I've ever seen. And it may be the best catch some people have seen if they haven't watched a ton of baseball. And it is awesome. And it's full speed, climbing the wall. But where he catches it is not where people think he catches it.
It was a hell of a catch. It really was. But I don't know if he'd be my number one. I don't think it would be my number one. Jim Edmonds was incredible. He's got a couple that were awesome.
Probably the best.
TLC mentioned Gary Matthews Jr. during the break.
Yes.
That was tremendous in center field when he was with the Rangers. I really liked the Kirby Puckett one, AR, in the World Series because of just how impactful that catch was, where he goes up and bangs up against, what is that? I think they had plexiglass or something.
Yeah.
In left field or wherever he was in outfield. I like that
in the series.
One of my favorites, though, all time that wouldn't be, I think, in anybody's top five is when Jeter catches the ball and pretty much sprints into the stands. And you know what it takes to hang in there and catch that ball. The Jeter one for me was awesome.
Yeah.
At Yankee Stadium.
Jim Edmonds, to me, there is no better. There's no better. It's full sprint, not going sideways, going straight back into center field. It is an absolute Willie Mays with the leap.
Well, Willie's number one and always will be number one.
Willie Mays invented that.
Yeah.
But Edmonds took it to another level with the leaving of the feet.
Yeah, but Willie's right over his dome.
So was he. So was Edmonds. Yeah. Anyway. Great catches, all.
Yeah, they're awesome. But last night was cool. If you haven't seen the one AR talked about with Denzel Clark, check that out because it was good stuff.
And the Willie Mays one happened because we have the video.
Exactly.
I kind of think the Willie Mays one is overrated, but that's just because. Well, I shouldn't say just because it
First of all, the catch cannot be overrated.
But
the catch
Jim
itself
Edmonds
can't be overrated.
They play the Willie Mays one way more than they play the Jim Edmonds one. The Jim Edmonds one was harder.
No, I'm with you guys. The Jim Edmonds one was amazing.
From
I'm just
a level of player,
you can't
that's
call
why
Willie's
they do it.
catch overrated. There's
Also,
nothing about the catch that was
I've
overrated.
just seen it so many times to the point where it's not even impressive anymore. It's a song that you've heard too much where you don't even like the song
Matty
anymore.
has seen O's the Mentalist predict everyone's thoughts for the past several years. It's not amazing to him anymore.
I guess not.
He needs to level up on the trick somehow.
Oh, man.
He needs to predict, I don't know. What would you like him
you
to predict?
said earlier, AR, cash in on some lottery numbers. Make a big parlay and tweet it out and give the streets something.
If you're going to go down the sports road where you can successfully predict who's going to be in these games, then you think you could transcend that to some lotto balls.
You'd think.
If you're just going to do it as a looking at someone's face and be able to predict what they're thinking, that's different than telling me who's actually these teams are going to play. But it is weird to hear him call the Willie Mays overrated, but I do think since it was kind of the over the head basket catch,
full sprint,
but it's not Edmonds though. It's not.
It's
not.
okay
that it's
because he
not.
dove.
Jim Edmonds dove at a dead sprint.
It's a tougher
No
catch.
way, it's not a tougher catch. The over the head, directly over your
Edmonds
head,
did
is
catch it
so
directly
much
over his
harder.
head.
Which Edmonds catch are you talking about?
Jim Edmonds, center field, straight back.
He was so good. He had a few of them.
Maybe we're deciding two different ones.
The one where he basically did Willie Mays but threw in a full extension
The one in
dive.
97 against Kansas City.
This is great radio, by the way, what we're doing.
No, I'm just...
People know what we're talking about, though.
I don't know.
Going back...
I don't know.
We're talking about the top 5 catches of all time. We're not talking about something that happened in just some
Supposedly
random
we
game.
are talking to sports fans.
I'm just saying.
I'm hoping.
Jim Edmonds, I don't know if is on a whole bunch of
Not
people's
the people
radars.
that won't
That's
watch the Cup final or the NBA because there aren't any legends in it.
Yeah.
I think the Willie Mays catch
We
is
can only
burned
talk
in a
about
lot
the
of break.
catches that happened when the Yankees played the
That's
Dodgers.
right. All right, Chet, spin it.
Oh, man.
Alrighty.
Okay. I lose again.
All right, so we're going to play a little game where I'd like to see what you guys think of other media members and their performance. We play a little fair or unfair. This was after the Eastern Conference Finals via WFAN up in New York, and you know those big market radio stations, they play by a different set of rules. They say some crazy things, and here was Greg Giannotti talking about Karl Anthony Towns following the performance where the Pacers beat the Knicks.
The biggest issue that the Knicks have going forward to get to the next level is the fact that they waited and waited and waited to go all in on a couple of guys, and the biggest one being Karl Anthony Towns. And they went and they traded for him, and he's making $50 million a year, and at the core, he's a loser. That is their biggest problem. The guy is a loser. He's a losing player. He complains. He is soft. He shows you flashes where he's the best player on the court. Not enough. He doesn't play enough defense. He bitches and moans. He is, up until this point in his career, a loser who is making $50 million, who is going to be a logjam as far as them trying to get to the next level.
His shot selection on Saturday night was insane.
I mean, he is getting to the point now as one of the most frustrating players I have ever watched in the uniform of a team that I root for, because I know how good he can be. And it's just so damn annoying watching him not realize his full potential. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I really don't know.
Inbounds or out of bounds?
For me, it's out of bounds because he was playing through a banged-up knee. And he was still putting on, I think, some really good performances. And I don't view the Knicks first of all, them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals was a win. And he was a massive part of that. And when you go out there and you play through a banged-up knee and still put up the numbers that he did, he's not their issue to me moving forward.
I thought it was fair to a point. I thought he rescued it. When you're calling a guy a loser, and I know that's a sports sense loser. That's not you want more out of him. He rescued that because you needed more out of him and you needed him to be a different leader. Matty, he's such a good shooter, big man shooter. We know that. So he's not a loser. Did his playoff numbers get to his regular season numbers? No. I thought the trade was a win-win. Matty brought up the right point. I think this was the tie-breaking point. I don't know if they talked about it. He wasn't 100%. I'm sure he was frustrated with that. And so, but it's a fairly fair comment to make, and that was really, really good in the regular season, and you just needed a little more from him. But I think Matty's point is well taken. So it's probably fair in what to expect, but maybe a little foul in the exact timing of it.
And he got a lot of blowback for that terminology of calling him a loser. And so here was his follow-up after the gigantic social media storm.
Things get twisted out there, and it happens to us too, where we'll see something and maybe somebody meant something else and we don't have the full context of it. But I was really surprised that so many people digested this in the way that they did yesterday, where they thought that I was calling him a loser as a person. And if you listen to exactly what I said, I'm talking strictly basketball. I say losing player. Yes, I say loser. I don't say anything about his family, anything about the man that he is, anything about his personal life at all. Just talking about in these situations, if you want to win a championship, I don't think that he has it, which is something that I have said for weeks now about him. He's just missing something. So it was that word that got people fired up, assuming that I was talking about him as an individual, which is not the case.
All right, so I think that's a fair comeback for him. I'm glad he did it that way. I didn't quote, I mean, I heard it the first time, as you heard me say that. I probably wouldn't have used that word, but I knew where he was going with it, that he just doesn't have the it factor when it counts. At least that's his prediction of it. I'm glad he kind of, re-examined it, and for whatever he needed to say to people, Matty, he did. I think when you're saying, and listen, we use this all the time, and I've said this on the program before, and I don't love it. When people describe a pro athlete and they say, he sucks. That happens a lot. I don't do it, and if I have, you can call me out on it. Even a second-string quarterback, or something like, that guy sucks. Well, he's one of 64 dudes that are in the world that are doing it.
I think it comes from
but I think
just comparing
that's
him.
It.
And
right.
you get to the small percentage of those world-class athletes.
That's right.
Those guys being compared to the elites is why people get there. Look.
So I don't take those words too.
No, I knew what he meant when he was calling him a loser. I completely understood what he was saying. But what I don't like is when we hear takes like that and there's no credit that goes to the other team. Because the Pacers made life very difficult for the New York Knicks and Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. And so Jalen Brunson and Towns will lead the charge for them next year, and hopefully they can get over the hump with a new coach. That's all we got time.
Oh, that's all
that's good. No, that's good. That's good. Plus, there's some
ready break.
There's some passion, obviously, in the team. You know, the tough love part is real too for a lot of these guys. When they go after you and I just talked about that when he was saying, you know, who's your biggest, you know, who do you hate in sports? You're like, sometimes you hate your own team more than you can hate the enemy when they don't live up to expectations. All right, so come back with our Bet365 next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There are a lot of window companies out there, so why choose Universal Windows Direct? Let me tell you. First of all, I told you so. Also, you can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. That gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal before you ever make a payment. Schedule your free assessment today, 614-502-5220, or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
This summer, elevate your backyard barbecue game with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus in Dublin. Experience the power of Napoleon's infrared sizzle zone, reaching up to 1,800 degrees in just 30 seconds for that perfect steakhouse sear. Stay connected with the Napoleon Home app. Monitor up to 3 temperature probes, all from your smartphone. Built to last with premium steel, the grilling season never ends with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus. Visit Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin and transform your patio into a gourmet grilling paradise.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tile starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Cabinets and lighting fixtures, too. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Pop Road in Whitehall. 24-month financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends June 22nd. Dealers welcome.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A big change in our weather today from Monday, as we will see a lot more sunshine and temperatures climbing in the mid to upper 70s, much closer to average. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows in the upper 50s, and then get ready for even more sunshine and heat on Wednesday as our highs get in the mid to low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time.
Let me talk to you like I'm LA Knight, folks, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. If you are new and you're looking for a new sports book, this is the place you need to go, because over at Bet365, they've got a great new sign-up offer where you bet just $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Reds guards again tonight. Reds finally win the Ohio Cup after Cleveland been whooping up on us for years. It felt like. Didn't get the Ellie dinger yesterday, but I'm looking at Ellie today, and I like his total bases number at 2, and the juice for that AR is plus 105. So I'm rolling with Ellie, 2 total bases at plus 105 tonight.
All right, I'll stay with the same game, and we'll either get a quick death or we'll get a quick win. Let's go first inning Nerfy.
Nerfy alert.
Let's go no-run first inning with Abbott against, who is it, Ciccone or?
I don't know who's pitching for Cleveland tonight. Is that who it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so I'll go no-run first inning.
Okay. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
No, not a peep out of Aaron Rodgers yet. Oh. Do we have that?
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen videos of him doing anything today. Maybe they're practicing. He hasn't happened anything yet. I don't know. It's been quiet.
I did see some film of him giving a handoff. So,
So they have been practicing already today.
So he is at minicamp. He is doing his thing.
But he hasn't spoken to the media yet.
No, that I've seen.
Maybe he was taking Joy Taylor's advice and learning his way around the city.
He doesn't even know where to get a smoothie.
Exactly. Find the right ways.
She was all over him.
He doesn't know the streets yet.
Oh, man.
And I remember saying, that's amazing. Is this possible?
What would you got? You just get Ron Burgundy over
just tweeted me that the Edmonds catch I was talking about was on this day? Back in 97?
That'd be incredible.
We celebrating the anniversary?
That's an O's the Mentalist kind of stuff.
I love
right
that
there.
you just went full Ron Burgundy right there. Just saw something with the other way.
The government.
Yeah, exactly.
Something sparkly over there.
Whatever pops up, I'm reading.
That's how radio works.
Oh, man. That's
where was I? Oh, yeah. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I told you guys that when she went on that rant, it was okay if he was a current employee of the team. And then I also said it was okay if he blows off mandatory minicamp and then signs later, then go on the rant. But he did what I thought. Mandatory minicamp, if he was serious about it, he was going to sign. But you're saying you did see him in uni shorts out there?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't seen anything.
Handoff.
Okay.
He threw a route to the flats.
Really? All right.
Football stuff. I'm here
You'll
for
find the smoothie later.
He's wearing number 8.
Wore that last year in New York and what?
Yeah, he did
in
wear
Green
that.
Bay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now he's in place.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get week 1. Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers. It'll be good stuff.
Are you guys adding any more receivers?
They need to.
I was just thinking about it. You have Metcalf.
Well, let's see. There's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. There's Alan
Robert
Lazard.
Woods.
There's
Keenan Allen's available.
There's Randall Cobb.
Oh, you're thinking about the Rodgers guys.
Yeah, Rodgers gang. So you have Metcalf. You have Robert Woods.
Yeah. They have Roman Wilson.
Caleb Johnson's going to catch passes.
They need another receiver, AR.
Freiermuth.
I'm in on him. He's a good player.
Calvin Austin III.
He's fine. He'll pop every once in a while.
Jalen will catch some passes.
But I wouldn't be mad at another vet in that wide receiver room. This is similar to
Keenan Allen. He was kind of.
This is similar to what we were talking about last year with this wide receiver core, and that's why you get rid of Pickens. I understand he was a problem, maybe too strong, but maybe a thorn in their side more often than not in Pittsburgh, and they were saying they were done.
We decided that we weren't going to pay him, I think.
Which is just, and it tells us everything that we need to know, TLC, to your point. They didn't want to pay a guy that is not even 25 yet, and they said, we're good. It's not a talent thing. We know he's got that. But yeah, I think throwing something in the dark or throwing something at the wall and seeing something would stick with a guy like Keenan Allen, I wouldn't be mad at that for the Steelers right now.
I mean, I just looked up his stats. If you would have asked me how many catches he had last year.
Are we talking Keenan or Pickens? Keenan? Wasn't very good.
No, it's better than splitting targets with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze.
What'd he cook up?
Well, I remember
Is this
that,
right?
I remember last
70?
year. Oh, wow.
Really?
I'll double check it.
I'm pretty sure he had
that blows me away.
A decent rapport with Caleb Williams, and Caleb spoke highly of him. Because I think you may be right on this. He was
caught 70 passes as an injured dude splitting targets. Now,
he had 7 touchdowns, too.
70 catches? I would not have.
He led the Bears in touchdown receptions a year ago.
I tell you, you have 6'4" Metcalf and 6'2" Keenan Allen. If he stays healthy, and Freiermuth, and some running backs that can catch some passes, you might have something.
They got some juice. Or would you be interested in Amari Cooper?
Yes.
More than that.
Yeah.
3 years younger.
He was with what? The Browns and the Bills?
He's always injured, man. That's injury stuff. But that's the pool that you could pick from right now. The Amari Coopers, Keenan Allens, Gabe Davis, Nelson Aguilar, Tyler Boyd. It's not very sexy. This is the 2018, 2017 all wide receiver room right here.
Yeah, no
with
kidding.
those guys. But you may be able to get some stuff out of Cooper and Allen.
That wouldn't be bad because then you'd have Metcalf, Cooper, Woods, Austin. You'd have Roman Wilson. We'll see in the second year. And then, so now if you had some injuries, you could probably sustain. Yeah.
Well, we know what Arthur Smith wants to do. Arthur Smith, it's time in Tennessee. It's time in Atlanta. He wants to run that thing. He wants to run the rock.
If you told me Amari versus Keenan, I'd probably take Amari.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would take Amari Cooper over Keenan Allen right now. But I think, look, based off of what you just laid out statistically from Keenan Allen, there may be some goods left there. When you got DK, you don't need him to be a number one. That being Keenan Allen if you bring him in. That's what DK is getting paid for now, $100+ million over the next few years.
I could see Rodgers, a lot of dump offs. The running backs involved. I mean, he's got that kind of feel for the game, I think, still. You need one of those guys.
I think so, too.
Yeah, because Robert Woods is not good.
No, that ain't it.
What did he have, like 200 yards last year?
Yeah, he's cooked. Smelling Tide Pods. He's washed.
All right. I'm just looking down the list. You're right. And Olave's got what? He's injured. He's got 2 years left in New Orleans.
Yeah,
on the contract.
Hopefully, he can get over this concussion stuff so we can see him shine.
But his name would be floated if the Saints were willing to move off him. I could see.
Yeah, but Derek Carr's not there anymore, so his brother will probably allow Chris Olave to stay.
That's true. We'll come back in 2 minutes. A former Buckeye is sitting out. How much money will he lose? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Double your savings with Logan Services. Save up to $3,200 on a qualifying air conditioning and heating system. And ask about tax credits up to $3,200. Call for your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here. The new weight loss meds are having results. But what happens after you stop taking them? I didn't want to rent my results. I wanted to own them to keep the weight off. I chose the medication-free solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Common Man here. I want to talk to you about my buddy Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. It's rare that a business comes along and offers you such great quality, service, price. If you or someone you love or like, or even strangers on the street tell you they need a jeweler, tell them you got a guy, and that guy is Bob Capace at Worthington Jewelers.
I'm Bob Capace, and I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Damn right I did. Those moms loved me.
Whoa. Okay.
Show up on time with my
see you
bag of tricks and
wow,
the right price.
Male gigolo, Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. Okay, I see you.
What you got in that briefcase?
Oh my goodness!
All right,
I love it. Hey,
yeah.
Let me run this quote by you because this is coming from Shamar Stewart, first round pick for the Bengals. Not out there on the practice field because he and the front office cannot figure out a contract that is going to make everybody happy. But Ari Mayroff, big NFL Twitter guy, who covers the league well, big following on
Where's
Twitter.
He on?
Covering
Twitter.
Exactly. For the 33rd team. I'm sure if you're an NFL fan, probably a high probability of you following him on Twitter. But he just threw this quote out because Shamar Stewart, I think as we speak, is speaking to some media members down in the Bengals locker room. But the quote is, I'm 100% right. It should be a no-brainer. In Trey's case, it should be a no-brainer too. Quote, I'm not asking for nothing y'all have never done before, but y'all, talking about the Bengals, just want to win arguments more than winning games, in my opinion. Now, I have not seen the video of him saying that, but I doubt that Ari Mayroff would tweet that quote out without hearing it first. So we'll have to wait and see.
I did see something.
If we can grab that audio at some point, because that quote right there is spicy.
I think I have about 3 minutes of it. We could either hold it for tomorrow or I could send it off to the big guy over there.
Y'all just want to win arguments more than winning games, in my opinion. Coming from the rookie.
Whew. Well, I don't know whether that's his
he's pissed.
Agent.
He's pissed.
That's handling this, and now his. But the Bengals ownership is I don't even know what to say anymore.
This is the reputation that they have built, and that's why this has to be driving Bengal fans nuts, is that you have this type of stuff that continues to follow you. And so,
what are they afraid of with him? Because I said this earlier, there's a rookie wage scale. Every team follows it. It's done. If you're worried about recouping bonuses for transgressions later, then maybe you shouldn't have picked him. Like, I don't really know where to go. Plus, if you're using it as a half-ass leverage tool against Hendrickson, you're using it poorly.
Wrong. Correct. And that's why when there was stuff that was popping out that if the Chase and Higgins thing didn't work out, could we see a situation where Joe Burrow grows frustrated and asks out? Now, that's not going to be the case because he got what he wanted. But when you have these type of things and this type of MO around the NFL, and for years you've had this can turn off other guys that would want to play for you via free agency. And when you have the quarterback that you have in Joe Burrow, this place is always going to be attractive, but there's going to be players and agents that look at how you do business and say, is that something I really want to be a part of, even with Joey being in the mix? And so Shamar Stewart coming strong. And again, that's Ari Meirov tweeting out that quote. This is his actual Twitter page. I don't think I'm being duped on this. But again, if you're just hopping in, Shamar Stewart, first-round pick, said, I'm 100% right. It should be a no-brainer. In Trey's case, it should be a no-brainer, too. I'm not asking for nothing y'all have never done before, but y'all just want to win arguments more than winning games, in my opinion. So there you go.
Listen, I just saw that Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle at Ole Miss who went to the Cardinals, he just signed. So maybe this isn't. I mean, listen, we're already into minicamp. It's, 3 days, so it would have been nice to get your guy in there to get some reps. He's got backing from the vets. He's got backing from the team. He's saying the stars on the team are saying,
because
hold your ground.
Because they've been sitting back for a while and watching how they do business, and they don't agree with it. I don't think anybody. How can you agree with this? Because like you said, AR, this should be done and done.
Yeah.
The blueprint is there.
Blueprint's there. There's something that they're trying to set a new precedent with their picks about recouping some language to recoup some money if the player's suspended or does something unbecoming or there's some transgression because they've drafted a lot of dudes that maybe have had character issues.
Don't make him pay for that. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. What are they afraid of with him?
He shouldn't be having to pay for the other guy's mistakes. That to me is bad business.
The Washington Commanders may have a difficult decision on their hands with former Buckeye Terry McLaurin. He's going into the final year of his deal. He's not happy about that. He's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Career high 13 TDs last year. Got to the conference title for the first time in like 30 years. You'd think they would be willing to kind of do what it takes. The fact that he doesn't have a new deal, he's not happy. Do you guys see any way that they would say, let's find a trade partner?
No chance.
I can't imagine.
No chance. This would have to get so nasty, and Terry's not built that way. He's not. I think he's playing the game and playing the game correctly. I think he's earned the right to do that. And I'm big on that, right? Like, you got to go out, do some things. Give me a couple laps around the track at a high level. Show that you are that guy. Then bang the table and then play the game and maybe get a little spicy here or there if you need to. Certain guys, I don't think, do that, but still go down that road. Terry McLaurin has been everything you wanted, right? Team captain. Not a dramatic receiver. Comes in, balls out, hasn't had elite quarterback play and still been productive for you. And now he looks around the market, and it's his time. He's 30 years old. He's scheduled to make $23 million. You just watched a guy in Debo. And it's crazy that Terry McLaurin is older than Debo Samuel, which is just in my mind. The math doesn't math on that. But I think Terry is deserving of getting to that at minimum $28 million a year.
Well, he signed a 3-year deal just a few years ago.
Time to re-up.
But the timing of it for what the team has now in this quarterback is why he's striking.
Yeah.
He was making about 22.5 on that last deal. I just did some quick math there. So projecting his new deal, first of all, I agree with you. I don't see any, it'd be nonsensical what they achieved last year and what they have in this quarterback on his rookie deal still.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't lock up Terry long term and ride this out as much as you can. How frustrated he's entitled to be, I don't know. But there's no progress on this long-term deal.
I think this will get done sooner rather than later, because everything
talks have been minimal
that you mentioned And even if he doesn't show up for mandatory minicamp and wants to eat $100,000, I think that's fine. But when you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, that makes life a little easier for you. This isn't one of those teams that your quarterback's $55, $60 million. They got a rookie deal. Get this deal done with Terry McLaurin, $28, $30 million. This should be easy to get done. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 3-year, 90. That's about right. By the way, I'm glad you mentioned the minicamp thing because maybe people don't know about it. If you miss the first day of minicamp, you're fined $17,000.
Mm-hmm.
They essentially double that if you miss the second day. And then they add on the third day another $50,000 or so. So it does come out to be $100 and change if you miss all three, which you don't care because if you're going to get your deal, they're going to just build that into it. Because whatever fines that you incurred, your agent would say, okay, well, now it's $90,100,000.
And if I'm Terry McLaurin, I've made probably already, $40 million plus in my career? Easy? Yeah, I'll eat that $100K.
Current deal is $22.8 million. Where does that rank him amongst NFL receivers, you ask? 16th.
Way too low.
So he's behind guys like Michael Pittman and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
and
it's time to get a new bag.
Get him into the top 10. That means $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, because you got number 2 receivers in the league, really good number 2 receivers in the league, and Jalen Waddle and T. Higgins. Those guys are making $28 million. This is your number 1. This should be done quickly from Washington's side. They shouldn't be budging at all on this.
Works for both.
Yeah.
It's kind of a win-win. It's great guaranteed security for him, and it's a pay raise for a guy who they value a ton, and it's a chance to keep taking that step forward in a very difficult division, which now they're an ultimate player in with this quarterback. And Debo's going to be hit free agency after this season.
Yeah.
So
I do the Brandon Ayuk deal with
solid value deal now.
Yeah.
Should help them later.
Brandon Ayuk contract work for you?
What did he get?
Somewhere around 4 for $120 for Terry?
I'd rather do 3 for $90.
Yeah, as long as Terry doesn't blow out his ACL in the 7th game of the year, whatever it was.
But
right after signing that contract.
At his age, I'd rather go 3 for $90.
Ayuk was 4 for $120 and 76 guaranteed. I'd do that with Terry all day and tomorrow.
I went down with his age that the amount of years is probably one of the biggest obstacles between the two. Because Terry's probably saying, hey, man, look, I'm one of the best receivers in the league. Give me 4 years. And they're probably like, yeah, but you're not going to be one of the best receivers in the league in 4 years. How about 2 or 3?
That's right.
I don't, whether it's 3, 4, 2, he will be there. He'll be there. He's going to be a commander. They know what they have. They'd be foolish to mess around with him.
Well, I don't know if he would sign a 2.
Probably not, but 3 or 4. I think he.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some difficulty if they're trying to just do a real short term.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Because he's
then if
saying,
you're Terry, I'm asking out.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why then all of a sudden the trade becomes something that at least is on the table. But he's 5 1,000-yard seasons in a row, and now he has Jaden Daniels. You sign him for 3 years, and you're done. Yeah, I don't know. Do I pick him again this year? I'm done. I can't have a draft the way I had it last year and not win. It has soured me. I can't pick Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, and Saquon Barkley. Nobody really wanted them, and I can't have that year and lose. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. You're the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yes.
Fantasy football. Tremendous regular season team, but just can't get over the hump.
I'm a Karl Anthony Towns. Just a loser.
Dunking on the big cat.
Just a loser. All right, we'll come back with Tell the Truth next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Trust. It's something we all value, but also something that's hard to earn, especially when it comes to your home. In a city like Columbus with so many contractors to choose from, how do you know who to trust with one of your biggest investments? At Newman Roofing, we believe trust starts with character and continues with consistent results. As a family-owned and operated company, we built our reputation on hiring good people, value-driven professionals who treat your home with the same care and respect they'd give their home. Our team is committed to delivering a true white glove experience. That means paying attention to the details, communicating clearly, and doing the job right the first time. We use only the highest quality products, installed with precision and backed by proven techniques. That's how we ensure you'll feel confident not just today, but for years to come. And we don't just ask you to take our word for it. With over 770 5-star reviews on Google, you can read story after story from homeowners just like you who trusted Newman Roofing and had their expectations exceeded. When it comes to roofing, gutters, or siding, call the local company built around family, values, and integrity. Newman Roofing. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
There's a huge focus in America today about your health, and you're determined to look beyond the pills. You don't want to have surgery, because I know I didn't. So you want to talk to the person that's in pain right now? Well, that was me. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you love, and maybe you've done everything you can. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for my friends at QC Kinetics. They're different. They're not about those quick fixes. This isn't going to be some shot that's going to make you feel better. It's not a surgery that's going to put you on the shelf. They're about long-term relief. This is regenerative medicine we're talking about right here. Your own body's healing properties to heal the damaged tissue at the cellular level. QC Kinetics, they've helped tens of thousands of people, so many of them right here in the Columbus area and across the country. They'd be honored to help you just like they helped me with my knee, just like they helped my dad. Here's what they're going to do. They're not going to mask the pain. They're going to go to the source of it. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus to see if you're a good candidate, or give them a call at 380-28-4544. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna and newly in Canal Winchester and Grove City.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy. America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
T-Bone and Tybus.
Some days are better than others. Well, that's what they're saying about this show. Some days are better than others. Namely, the ones we weren't on the air versus the ones we are.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone letting you know that Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin has everything you need for your backyard this summer. They've got a huge selection of poly outdoor furniture built to last, never needs refinished, perfect for the lazy among us. Want to get the kids outside? Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings has quality-built play sets that you can configure any way you like. Plus, Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings is your trusted source for Weaver Barns in Central Ohio. Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin or online at AmishCountryFurnishings.com. And, of course, tell them T-Bone sent you.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free. Plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
I didn't know bad backs were contagious, but I think I didn't give him, like, the virus that I had.
Thank God.
Yet. But
I don't know
might
what
still
happened.
be incubating, but it's like a gargantuan monkey fist is in this dude's lower back to my right. And I've given him some exercises, but he can't do them right now.
So I got up this morning, got to the gym, was fine. Came in here this morning and was actually fine. Then around 10:45, I got up from my chair and something happened. My lower back is cooked.
Yeah, it's
right now. This is exactly how I felt in New Orleans when we were there for Radio Row. And I've been...
Those chairs were brutal, though.
They were awful. Much better, or these are much better than what we've had, but I've been walking around like the penguin in here. all day. Like I'm waddling back and forth to get to where I need to go. I'm playing hurt right now. But you know what? After the audio that you played for us, where a news anchor, her water broke live on the air, I have no choice but to grind it out.
Yeah. I mean, the water, she wasn't actually in labor, though. You're more in labor, I think,
bad.
right now than she was at the time.
I'm hurting right now, but we're almost home. We're almost home. TLC, what do you got?
All right, first of all, this is for you, Matty Ice. Tell the truth. With this 4-game win streak, are you starting to believe, get a little bit of optimism? You've cleared the 500 threshold. 34-33, I believe, is the record. Are you believing in the Reds a little bit, at least a little bit more?
TLC, if I woke up today after that win and I saw that we were in second place, like if we were the Cardinals are second place, they're 4 games back, then I'd be willing to go down a road and saying, you know what, all my employees are back. There are shirts in the warehouse that are getting prepared as we speak. But we're almost in the basement of this thing. Lucky for us, your Pirates are struggling right now. Poor Paul Skeens. But no, it's been fun to watch them do their thing over the last few games. But big picture, it's just not going to mean much, AR.
Friedel's having a good year.
Yeah, he's
an all-star.
He really has been playing well. But no, big picture, we're not doing anything significant this season. Just who we are as a franchise now. It's sad.
Are we on the air?
Yeah, we are, Paul.
Today's fan poll, I will read it to you as it is on the website. There are 2 different versions. There's the website version and the Twitter version. The website version says, who would you consider to be the most? And your 3 options are Ted Ginn, Terrell Pryor, and Braxton Miller.
The most? What?
That's what I was thinking.
That's on Twitter?
No, that's the website. Now, if you go to Twitter, which is where I went to, because I'm like, there's got to be more. Like, people can't just be voting on that. The full question is, who would you consider to be the most dynamic Ohio State football player since 2000?
Ooh.
Just to remind you, your options were Ted Ginn, Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller, or you could fill in your own.
Probably Braxton.
First of all, put a definition on dynamic.
B. Millie? Yeah, I mean,
just kind of total offense.
Yeah.
You know, dynamic. He's top of my list. I think it's scary.
It's a good answer. I mean, the Virginia Tech spin, close your eyes and see him doing that right now. But I think, when you said
Urban tapped into that explosiveness.
You know who popped into my brain that wasn't on that list was Curtis Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamic with what he was doing in the offense and that H-back role that was so popular within Urban's offense. There's so many guys I think we could throw flowers at in this, but I'll throw Curtis Samuel out there and what he would do on some Saturdays. I thought that was pretty dynamic.
Yeah, I always make those interesting comments during the game.
Over the weekend, Clayton Kershaw was pitching in Busch Stadium and leading up to his start. They put on the scoreboard a very famous play in St. Louis Cardinals history from the 2014 playoffs where Matt Adams, a guy who I actually know a little bit.
Oh, there's a flex. Okay, flex on TLC.
That's very nice.
Talk about it.
He came in, he knows somebody who was on the show in St. Louis. He came in studio, we hung out. He was hanging out for like 45 minutes.
Okay.
He was
not what you know, it's what you can prove.
I don't.
By the way,
he would not recognize me if I could break into his house. He wouldn't recognize me, just to be clear.
This game was in St. Louis?
Yes. So the Dodgers are in St. Louis. I know what you're going to say. Clayton Kershaw is getting ready to start, and they're showing highlights of him giving up a giant playoff bomb from 11 years ago. Now, just a little bit of gamesmanship. Just, hey, remember that time that we got you? But Clayton Kershaw said, I think it's a little Bush League, but I don't expect anything less from those guys, so no worries. Do you think Clayton Kershaw is being soft? Tell the truth.
A little.
Yeah.
What would he expect? He's in a road ballpark. It was a massive deal and a playoff deal, and they're trying to get under his skin a little bit. This is what... has he never pitched on the road before?
I'm with
now,
you.
maybe he's looking at it from an organizational thing. And we've seen these social media departments of these teams have some fumbles, over the last couple years. But usually I would think a guy of his stature, a World Series champ, a 10-time All-Star, you don't even notice it, let alone comment on it.
Yeah.
That's a little odd that because most of these Cy Young guys would not, they'd either have a chuckle about it or they would absolutely go blank and not let anybody know they even saw it.
Calling it Bush League's a step too far, in my opinion. Like, that's soft as Charmin right there from Clayton Kershaw.
You should take it as a
doing.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Sorry, I thought
you should take it as a badge of honor a little bit that you're that big in their minds that they're trying to affect you.
They say they don't boo bums. They don't boo bums. If you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast because all you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice wherever you get your pods, and our podcast will pop up for you every single day. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast.
Shefty tomorrow.
Okay.
What were you going to... remind me to remind him.
Yeah.
He's
to
got
put some pressure on Shefty.
That you think that O's is a phony and that Schefter is in on it. Amongst everyone else that's ever been involved. Talk to you tomorrow. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Are you looking for an affordable family car? Then the Chevy Traverse is for you. This month at McDaniel GM Superstore, you can get up to $3,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Traverse. Plus, qualified buyers can finance at 6.8% for 72 months. They are just a short drive north of Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and I remember the first time I understood that old saying about giving a man a fish. It made so much sense, and I see examples of it all the time. Take the new weight loss meds, for instance. Think about this. You take a shot, you eat less, and you lose weight. But the second you stop, the weight comes back. You never actually changed anything besides eating less of the same bad things. I wasn't interested in renting my results. I wanted to own them. That's why I chose Awaken 180. I needed a lifestyle change, I knew it, and I was excited about it. A medication-free path to long-term weight loss. That's exactly what I got. It's been a year and a half since I dropped my 50 pounds, and I've kept it all off. Awaken 180 taught me how to adjust my approach to food. A real-time education on how to keep it off while losing the weight. I say, learn how to fish. It's easy, it's fast, and for the long-term bonus, no medications. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com, 844-346-1800.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And bet and reduce juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800.